Hey, this is Yuri Lowenthal. I play Peter Parker in Spider-Man and PS4 Spider-Man. And when I'm not swinging around the city, saving it from crime, I'm listening to the Raw Dogs podcast. They talk about video games and beer, two things that I like very much. So, check them out.
That's the one.
No, I spent half of my playthrough actually trying to learn how to parry, and then I hear like parrying in this game is like close to impossible.
Yeah,
it's really difficult.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop now.
I've done it on several occasions, but only with enemies I've faced maybe 1 billion times.
Yeah,
I was trying to play it like Bloodborne, and then I realized I shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
I was trying to play it like Sekiro, but
I wanted it to be Sekiro as well.
I was playing it like Skyrim.
I just wanted to do that thing, the ting, and then the immediate slash right afterwards. Oh,
so
God,
satisfying.
Yes.
Hey everybody,
With
welcome.
a sweep.
Welcome to Raw Dogs, proud members of the HyperX Podcast Network. My name is Brad, and I have a problem, and it's Elden Ring, but we're not talking about Elden Ring today.
Oh, we could.
We'll save that.
I can't be here that long.
There will be an episode. Yeah.
Yes, Dylan, what's your name?
My name is Dylan.
Nice.
Way to spoiler alert.
Sorry. The Joker dies at the end of Arkham City.
Oh, no.
Who's the Arkham Knight again? Or do we want to spoil that early?
We
This
can.
early?
It's
We can.
Jason
Oh,
Todd.
yeah.
It's Jason Todd. Shit.
Yes.
It's like, but he's already the Red Hood. Why make him a different character? I really don't understand.
why I didn't like it.
They had to have a conceit to use the word Arkham again, and they couldn't figure out another way.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That
Could have
might-
been anything, though.
I don't know. Who's over here?
Stoy.
Stoy, how's it going, man?
It's going, man. Thanks for bringing me on again.
Of course, we love you, Stoy. Stoy is, of course, a part of the EXP cast.
Yep. Just came hot from recording an episode of our own just recently. So our episode was we had to put together a team. And we had to put together a team of the best video game characters that we could come up with. So,
Damn.
yeah.
I like
Did it have to be
conceit.
original video game characters? So Batman wouldn't be able to be a part of the team?
Nah, we didn't really consider him. We just kind of tried to go exclusively video game characters. Like, for example, I think we picked the fun one that we had was a wild card character. So like Dan on our podcast picked Tingle as his wild card character.
Yeah, that's actually a good choice.
Yeah. It's just like you really don't know what he plans on doing.
Yeah.
He just shows up and he flies on a balloon and just you don't know what he's capable of.
He shows up when you least expect him, and he helps maybe sometimes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He's got an island out there on the big ocean.
I've
with all
never
the siblings.
I've never played a game with Tingle involved, actually.
Really?
No, I don't
Majora's
think
Mask or Wind Waker?
When we had you on
Oh.
our episode, you wanted to talk about we put
Tingle's
Tingle in
ring-
the episode for you.
Rupee's Wonderland or
Rupee's
whatever?
Wonderland. That was it. Yeah.
And we're, of course, joined by Tyler.
Yep, I'm Tyler.
Tyler, what's up, man?
Not much, just chilling. Also got a problem called Elden Ring that we are not going to talk about. But
We got a text. I might be a little bit late. And I'm like, you just come from work or something? He said, no, I was playing Elden Ring.
It's an okay excuse now.
yeah,
I feel like I could call in tomorrow just because I won't. But,
And before we get into our topic, which is the Arkham series, we received an email from a fan. Dylan hasn't seen this yet.
What the fuck?
We did some British accents last episode.
Oh, yeah?
About Avatar. And hi, guys. Love the show. I was excited to see you had covered the greatest console of all time, the PlayStation 2. I was at work hungover, and I felt like it would ease my pain. However, the frequency of atrocious and needless British accents made me feel irritated and nauseous.
Good.
I am British myself, and honestly, it made me turn off the podcast, which I was otherwise very much enjoying.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I found it offensive, just not funny, not good, and not necessary.
Hey, listen. Yeah, that's my entire life, buddy.
Please, never attempt British accents again. All the best. All the best. It was from Morg Sound. We at the Raw Dog just want to say, sorry, bruv.
Sorry, governor.
Sorry, governor. He responded, he's like, big fan of the show still. We'll keep listening. But
You're A-okay, buddy. I understand it, too. I really was pulling from a well that was not that deep.
I tried to explain, like, we were going for bad, and sometimes comedy just doesn't hit like you want it to.
Yeah, but sometimes there's just something so obnoxious just right in your ear. Like, if anyone starts eating on a podcast, I'm immediately off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll never touch that episode. I mean, it might even be a show I like, and I might be missing out on some good content, but no.
Yep.
I ain't got no business listening to some motherfucker chew.
But the game series we are discussing today is the Batman Arkham series.
The trilogy. Well, quadrilogy?
Quadrilogy?
More than that. Unfortunately,
The
there's
Silly Willy G?
we won't count the mobile game, but otherwise there'd be four main entries. I would count the DS game and the VR game.
There was the Blackgate too. I think it was part of
Blackgate
it,
is the DS one, 3DS, one of those, and then
I had it on the Vita. I know that.
oh yeah, there was a Vita
I was
version.
going to say the Vita sounds familiar for that.
There's
Yeah.
a beautiful game in VR, which was worth $5 barely.
Barely.
I didn't know they had a VR one.
It was an
That's-
experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
You know.
There were some cool moments, but
You get to
yeah,
watch Dick Grayson get his neck snapped.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
yeah, you can, in three dimensions. It's really great.
So you walk around him and you're like, yes, Alfred, this is where Dick got his neck snapped.
Who did it?
When we discussed Batman versus Spider-Man years ago,
yeah, geez.
just loosely, but with the release of the Batman, I thought it'd be fun to discuss the Arkham series in a little more detail.
Yeah.
And I'll start at the top. I have beaten Arkham Asylum, City, and Night. All three of them I've beaten twice. I beat the VR game once. Haven't seen the anime, haven't read the comics, haven't touched Blackgate or Arkham Origins, but love the games. And I'm not a comic book guy, so I think I might have a lighter opinion on some of the later ones. But
I just jumped back in to comic reading. Actually, I became a kind of like a born again DC fanboy.
Born again?
Yeah, because I was like a DC fanboy growing up. You know, Batman, Superman comics were my thing, and I was hugely into Nightwing at the time. And kind of stopped, grew up, and just was like, I'm just going to stick to playing video games. Now I just jumped back in. So one of the newer Batman series is called I Am Batman, where Lucius Fox's son takes up the mantle of
really?
Batman. Yeah, and it's in a universe where like Batman is dead,
the
but
future
is he
now?
The Fear State?
Okay, all right. Yeah,
but I think
cool.
it's kind of connected to that too, where it's like a new alternate future where like the magistrate comes in and takes over Gotham, turns it into a police state, and they kind of kick the masks out. So
Sure.
Batman is pretty much done.
I've heard of this, I believe.
Yeah, but it's like 6 issues in. It's actually pretty good so far.
And they're keeping it up. It's selling well.
I think so. Yeah, it's been getting really good reviews.
Interesting. I might
John
give it a
Ridley's
shot.
the writer. If that means anything, it doesn't mean anything to me. But
I've
he's actually
never heard of
been doing a pretty solid story so far.
I will say I'm the least versed in anything comic book related here. I think all of you are comic book guys to an
Oh
extent.
my god! Like
Yeah.
the many versions of Batman and any of the DC's his stories and characters. Oh my god!
What's your favorite Elseworlds Batman? Can I ask? Maybe for the entire table here, as a bigger question.
Adam West Batman for sure.
Well, I mean, you could say it. Yeah, I think that counts.
I just looking through the skins in Arkham Knight, I'm like, Jesus, there's a lot of Batman.
There's
Yeah,
a
they really
lot
are,
of
yeah.
fucking Batman.
Yeah,
I like Batman Beyond.
They should have called the new Spider-Man movie just Spider-Man.
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 that would have been a spoiler. That would have been a
Then they could
spoiler.
have put home in the title.
Yeah, I don't.
Spider-Man homies.
There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
I don't have a personal favorite Batman, though. I only have watched the movies and played these games pretty much.
I have a soft spot for the animated series.
Kevin
Just
Conroy.
Kevin Conroy and the large torso that he had in that.
Yeah, just
The
a fucking
dude was
barrel.
just a big barrel chested dude.
I would say that one's up there for me. I don't think I have a favorite though.
No,
No, I'm having a tough time picking one.
I think Batman's just a very. I think we talked about it last time when we were doing Spider-Man versus Batman. I just think he's a very interesting character. I don't understand it though. Like I like it fine, but controversially, I'm not a huge Batman fan.
There seems to be many, many different people that are Batman, and possibly more than like some other superheroes will have a few like identities, but I can't think of many that would have as many identities like people that are Batman at some point.
It's the whole symbol thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because technically, I think in some universes, Nightwing becomes Batman. You know, you go from Robin to Nightwing, and then all of a sudden Batman just up and dies, I guess, in one universe, and then
He
Nightwing
gets
takes over.
displaced throughout time.
Isn't Batman's
that's
dad Batman at some point? Thomas Wayne?
Yeah.
In an alternate reality where his wife becomes the Joker.
I hear there's one where that dude from Twilight's Batman, too.
The pitch for that one just sounds like a fever dream. His wife becomes the Joker, and his dad is
God.
Batman.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. Thomas Wayne becomes actually pretty cool Batman.
He's like
He's from
older in that
Flashpoint.
too, right?
Yeah, well, he would be older. But he uses guns too. That's his big thing. He's a Batman that's like kind of a killer. It's really cool.
Instead of one that just violently incapacitates people so they can't
he's
eat
just
normally.
sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a concussion.
I like
fine.
I like that in Arkham Knight, every single tank is unmanned.
Unmanned, yeah.
Yep, because Batman couldn't kill a tank if someone's inside of it, so they had to make a line like, I knew people couldn't drive tanks well enough to fight you, Batman, so they're drones. That was just like a throwaway line to explain why there's not people inside of these tanks.
And the shock system on the Batmobile, that in case he runs over someone, they just shock him and fly away.
Certainly not to break every bone in their body.
Definitely not, but just enough to kind of like incapacitate them as they fly 20 feet into the air.
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah.
What a fun little jab.
And that's like Batman's whole thing, and I think that's my least favorite thing about Batman is that he won't kill.
It kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. I think that aspect of him started during like the big time in the Comics Code era, where everything was being like enforced, and eventually fans took on that. Like they want to make him like this noble hero, like kind of not even a Robin Hood. That's not the right way to do it, but like his nobility ends up being that he won't kill people. I think it's silly. I would have killed the Joker years ago.
How many people have died because you refused to kill the Joker?
At this point, I think it's just irresponsible. You got to put that guy down.
It's psychotic for him. He just can't. It's just like he likes it too much. That's my biggest problem with Batman in general. I'm like, you like this too much.
How many times have all the villains broken out of Arkham, dude?
If you watch I don't know if any of you guys have HBO Max. There's a really good Red Hood animated
Under
movie.
the Red Hood,
Under the Red Hood, where, I mean, it's really good. Like John DiMaggio's playing the role of Joker, who does a pretty good job.
Interesting.
And he's got, Joker at gunpoint standing in front of Batman, and he's like, how many people has this man killed? And you still refuse to enact justice. And he's like, even me. I died at this man's hand, and still nothing.
Yeah.
So it is kind of frustrating.
It's extremely frustrating because in a vacuum you could tell a story like this, but the fact that it's been going on for over 80 years, it just kind of that's why they do so many iterations and they change it up so much, is because if you were to believe that this was one all straight continuity, you'd be like, wow, seems like some people weren't making the right choices.
So, Batman Arkham Asylum, made by Rocksteady Studios. This game came out August 25th, 2009, for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360.
A million years ago, it feels like.
Yeah.
That's a while ago.
Yeah.
13 years ago. Long time. Began in May 2007 at Rocksteady Studios with a team of about 40 people, grew to 60, took approximately 21 months. Games take longer and longer every time they seem to get made.
Psychotic.
Yeah.
21 months just seems like a short amount of time compared to nowadays.
Yeah, they can make a Call of Duty in like 4 months.
They can make they could have made a Final Fantasy in 1 year.
That's
How crazy
crazy.
is that?
Instead,
Yeah.
it took 7 years to make one.
And it was everyone's favorite.
Yes, it was. I guess.
I was surprised this game was originally designed to be a full rhythm action game.
Oh Christ! I had no clue. What?
I had no clue about that.
You guys didn't know that. I think it would have kind of wound up being a little bit like Crypt of the Necrodancer, where when you were fighting multiple enemies, like each enemy would be another aspect of the rhythm, and you had to like punch to the beats. Like they would always attack on beats to the rhythm that you're like fighting to.
That's kind of not okay.
Yeah,
I think it sounds cool.
That could be cool, not in a
for-
Batman game.
not in a Batman game.
Not in a Batman game.
Yeah.
I can't even picture Bruce Wayne dancing. How could I picture Batman dancing?
Why,
Right.
why would Batman be the one that like, rhythm fighting game? Like, no, Batman doesn't dance. I can't imagine Batman dancing outside of the Bat-2C or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Adam West series.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Like if it were an Adam West Batman game, dancing would be appropriate.
Which could be cool.
Dancing all night.
Ooh. Knight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I think we got a pitch, boys.
He's got the night fever.
Yeah,
Rock
exactly.
steady if you're listening.
Honestly.
Yeah, so some big names. They brought in Paul Dini, who is a veteran Batman writer. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the name.
He did a lot of the scripts for the original series.
Yeah.
The animated, sorry.
The animated series, yeah. Which that's a good documentary if you on YouTube.
I've seen that. Yeah.
It's really good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A documentary about the making of this game.
The animated series.
Okay.
About how they made because it was like at the time, like 90s cartoons weren't really violent. And all of a sudden here it's like, yeah, we got some dark brooding cartoon full of violence that we want to pitch to kids. And everyone's like, you sure?
Did the animated series come out? It must have been after the Tim Burton movies, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yep. It was actually a year after, I believe. And there was a lot of hullabaloo around it.
Well, I remember when Batman Returns, that movie comes out, and we watched it recently, and it's just Danny DeVito eating raw fish and bleeding out of his mouth everywhere.
It's not even a Batman
scary,
movie.
dude. This is scary.
Yeah,
It's
Penguin.
a Catwoman movie.
And it's great.
Yeah, it might as well just be called Catwoman. Batman is a guest player.
She's still my number one Catwoman, I think.
Oh,
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
I really like Zoe Kravitz, though.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
she's great too.
Very good. One developer spent nearly 2 years animating Batman's cape using over 700 animations and sound effects. So he essentially spent all of his time working on all the different animations for the cape.
Kudos to that guy, because I'm playing Arkham Asylum right now when I'm not totally playing Elden Ring, but the cape looks fantastic.
It does.
It's beautiful.
Can you imagine? This guy goes home to his wife and he's just like, "It's the cape, Susan."
She opens a curtain and he's like, wait, do that again.
Gets
Why
out of
is
the
there a
shower,
rip in
he's
that
like,
curtain?
Wait a minute.
Wait, I got an idea.
It's just me, Susan, the cape man. Calm down, honey. Get off the ledge.
If I spread my wings, I could just glide.
And yeah, you don't even do a lot of gliding in the first game at all.
No, you don't. There's not a lot of
Not to
vistas.
the extent of Arkham City or anything, but
No, it's mostly like a brief prevents
Yeah.
you from falling too fast.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I remember that was one critique I would have of Arkham Asylum. I remember the cape feeling very weakly implemented.
Well,
Yeah, it's
But
a little clunky.
there's not a lot of places to fly, though.
No, and
No.
It's a more contained story. Spoiler alert, love Asylum best out of every single one of them.
That everybody that is a big Batman fan or definitely a comic book person, just like they're like Asylum's the best one. There's not even a contest. Asylum is where it's at.
Yeah.
I
Except
think
for that last battle.
I kind of got like a little starstruck, I guess you could say, that's a bad way to describe it, over the free roam in City. So looking back on it, without having replayed Asylum so recently, I would have said City. But now that
that's
I'm
interesting, yeah.
getting back into Asylum, definitely has the best story. It is. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did. The remaster is really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
played the
I actually like City. Having recently played Asylum, and I'm in City right now. I haven't played in a couple weeks, but I just love how Gotham was just. I mean, the city is the star of the game. You know, just
Yeah.
how well designed and how
Right.
beautifully crafted everything is. From the subway systems to just the overworld, the buildings, just leaping from rooftop to rooftop is just amazing. So. And then, like, every freaking villain is in this game, too, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, Rocksteady knocked it out of the park with these games. The design for all of them, Arkham Knight definitely has issues, but the design of Gotham is striking and so detailed.
For an open world game, they don't reuse a ton of assets either, which that's maybe that's a feat. Because we talk about Elden Ring, Brad and I were talking about how some shit gets reused.
Earlier this week, I didn't talk about Elden Ring for almost 5 minutes straight. That's it, though. Otherwise, it's been Elden Ring nonstop for that amount of time.
Honestly, it's all I'm going to think about when I go to bed tonight. It's gonna be the only thing I think about on my long shift tomorrow at work.
One thing that's cool about the Asylum is it's very self-contained, and there's not a lot of free roaming. You can go back to places, but it kind of plays a little bit like, I don't want to say Metroidvania, but I know they were inspired by Zelda and Metroid.
It is
where
a Metroidvania.
I think it's a Metroid Prime. I think they were inspired by. I think directly.
I actually played that recently. So yeah.
Yeah, because you definitely need different gadgets to get certain areas, and there's certain spots I remember I can't get to somewhere, and then I remember I'll get the new whatever the rope that you can shoot a rope directly across.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. it's more deliberate. The level design is hyper deliberate. Whereas in like Arkham City, you almost get like this open world feeling, and then you kind of have like these pseudo dungeons that you're forced into. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a Legend of Zelda in that way too.
It's
That's
weird when
comparison.
it's weird when you frame it like that, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I'm bringing the heat today, guys. It's okay.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah, Arkham Asylum was somewhat inspired by Alcatraz, which makes sense. Definitely, self-contained little island. I think it's funny that Batman does have a little cave set up out there.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
Yeah. Well, I got a cave underneath this asylum, just because.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Arkham Asylum, the game has 40 rooms, 34 corridors, 3 exterior areas, and 3 scarecrow hallucinations.
It feels like a lot more than that. I remember that game being pretty big. Feeling.
Yeah, it's maybe smaller than you remember. I don't know.
It probably is. I played this at a very weird time in my life, so
it feels longer. You do wind up revisiting some areas.
It's true.
And certain areas get expanded. And yeah. So it turns out Batman's caught the Joker, and he's not going to kill him. He instead brings him to Arkham, and he thinks something's going wrong because, of course, something's going wrong.
And I'm scary, and I'm a jokester. I sometimes the Joker really pisses me off. I love Mark Hamill as the Joker, though. It's really hard to hate.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's a good call to bring Hamill and Conroy into this game, too. Even though it's an original story, it's a familiar take on those characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you just recently played Asylum, right?
Yeah.
Are you playing on the Xbox by chance?
PlayStation 4.
Okay. So I just found when I replayed it on the Xbox, and there was a save glitch where if you start the game and you play it, it doesn't save properly. It doesn't autosave. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of restart the game over again, and then you play it again, and it's the same thing, glitches out again. Okay. So recently when I played it, I played through that friggin' intro 4 times.
Yeah.
And I was maybe I didn't autosave last time. Maybe I didn't get to a checkpoint or something, and just I ended up Googling it, and sure enough, it's a glitch on the Xbox system specifically. So all you have to do is delete all the save files or any save files that have come up. So you have to go into Xbox settings, delete all the data, and then restart over again. Then it should fix the problem. But
so that's on the Return to Arkham?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Return to Arkham. So if you're playing Asylum and for some reason it's not saving in the beginning, that's the reason why. So just delete all the save data that you've had, and
you have more patience than me. I would have not played that intro 4 times in a row.
I really wanted to play that freaking game again.
That's dedication.
But I was sitting here I got to sit through this again. And all of a sudden, oh yeah, the lights go out. And now he laughs. And all of a sudden, now Batman's got his hand on his throat. Yep, I'll remember this. Oh, here comes King Croc again. Oh boy. Yeah, you want to eat my bones? I get it. Okay, let's get out of here. You can't skip any of that.
Yeah, because you got to walk through it all.
Yeah.
Granted, I probably wouldn't want to watch it 4 times in a row, but I think the intro to this game is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The slow introductions, the pacing, just moving slowly through Arkham, and getting introduced to the Joker, and then Killer Croc walks in, and my first thought was, I do not want to fuck with that guy.
Yep.
Even though
I kind of want to fuck him.
Well, I'd talk with him first, but
buy him a beer or something.
Maybe
watch.
So, what are your interests?
And then he just says he watches BET after saving Gotham or whatever. You guys remember the Suicide Squad movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
That's his reward. He gets to watch BET.
Yeah.
Oh my
He's a black
god!
guy.
I only watched that movie one time. I saw it in theaters, and I got a ride there from a friend, and they loved it, and I just shit on it the whole way home. It actually caused a rift in a friendship. They liked it so much, and I hated it so much that we were actively fighting for.
What you didn't like? You don't like obvious music cues and
Oh yeah.
You don't want 8 different music cues in 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, Tyler?
God, I hate that movie. Now I'm in a bad mood.
I kind of like that movie in a disturbingly stupid way. I think that movie.
I like how bad it is.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, so let's, I guess, briefly talk about some of the villains in the game. We have, of course, Mark Hamill's Joker. We can't have a Batman anything without Joker. Even the new one has a little reference to Joker in it, the new movie, but
Tiny.
tiny.
And
I think we're all on the same page probably about Mark Hamill and the Joker.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's really no replacing that.
he's great.
Troy Baker does a good job.
Surprisingly, Troy Baker does
really
an
did.
amazing job.
Troy Baker does a good job.
But there's like nothing that man can't do. His voice is like a Swiss Army knife.
I was
My favorite part is when Joker brings out his guitar.
that is the joke. Yeah.
Yeah, there was, I think, at the lead up to Arkham Origins, like Troy Baker did a reading at a convention of The Killing Joke, one of his famous monologues
Oh,
in
yeah, I
the
remember
Killing
that.
Joke, and he just freaking nailed it. Like the whole crowd like stood up and cheered this man, and Troy Baker's just like, I can't believe I just did that. And, like it was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing that man can't do.
No, that's true.
Very
he's fucking Revolver Ocelot.
Very surprised when I heard his take on the Joker. Some other villains, we got Bane. I don't particularly hate or love what they do with Bane in these games.
I prefer this idea of Bane than like the Christopher Nolan Bane.
But what about the
need him to be a
Batman
mercenary.
Forever Bane or Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin Bane.
who's not even a character?
Yeah.
That's all he does.
In a big rubber suit, looks like.
Yeah. They really made him stupid in that one.
Yeah, because he's
In the
supposed
movie.
to be like a genius. Like he's supposed
Yeah, he's
to be
a military tactician.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super smart. And they just make him a big fucking jughead.
These games do fall in the habit, though, of almost every boss. You had to hit 3 times. Very similar tactics. And Bane is just another enemy, but bigger.
He just charges around.
Because there's other brutes.
Shoots a
as well.
batarang at him. He slams into the wall.
He can't see.
Yeah, okay, all right. Know this tactic.
Victor Zaz, which I think is probably a villain that has been underused in almost everything.
Yep.
He's basically just a serial killer.
And I don't know. I think regular looking Batman villains are so much more interesting and exciting than something like the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, well, that's the part about the new movie, which I have not seen yet, that I'm really interested in. They make the Riddler like the Zodiac killer, which is fucking awesome.
That I think that was the initial impression that they wanted to go with the movie.
Yeah.
They definitely have a comparison to Zodiac.
Yeah.
At one point, he says, "This is the Riddler speaking," which is a direct reference to "This is the Zodiac speaking."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
then-
even all the ciphers that he uses in the movie too.
Yep.
The-
And I got some Fincher 7 vibes off of it as well. I think it's a very Fincher-inspired take on Batman. And
I
also-
would say Matt Reeves has his own voice, though.
And Aronofsky,
Whatever he makes.
it reminded me of what Aronofsky was kind of aiming for. He was going to make a Batman film at one point,
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that's right.
and it was going to be super gritty, super raw. But his would have even been like much lower. Like Batman wasn't a billionaire, and he was working in a car shop, and just like he was a real street thug type Batman.
Okay.
Oh, I kind of don't hate that.
And well, what was it? There's another Batman. It was like a Victorian times Batman too, right?
Yeah.
There are tons of Batman.
There's so many
There's
Batman
like,
by Gaslight or something like that. I think that was the name of the series. Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah.
Man, we're gonna get an Into the Batverse soon enough, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
They'd make too much money to not make it.
I mean, I don't know.
One of the most iconic scenes in this game for me was Killer Croc.
Killer Croc is a good one.
Yeah.
Jumping on that stuff, avoiding him in the water. That was cool.
That's a fear I think everybody has, moving too slow in water.
You really
Crocodile
couldn't
Man?
see behind you to see how close he was. It was just kind of the way the camera angle was. So it's like you really couldn't see. So you were just like, make sure you don't screw up and run off the planks in the water. Like it's terrifying.
Yeah, and
You kind of have to walk.
it's one of those conceits too, though. Like, wow, this sewer has a lot of long hallways with some turns and a lot of just pallets floating in a perfect row.
Isn't this all? This is late 2000s game design to an exact T, though. Like you see this kind of stuff everywhere, where they're approaching like a level of believability, but they just haven't quite gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Like, we just need 10 pallets in a row floating in this water, guys. Yeah,
They just let this guy hang out down here.
Yeah, right.
Well, I guess he's a crocodile, and we don't want to like torture him, but it seems like he's killed a lot of people, and who cares?
I like that. All the villains, as soon as they get out, they all just immediately split up and like, I'm going down to the sewers. Poison Ivy goes and gets a greenhouse right away. Her
appropriate.
Her boss battle was one of my favorites of the game because it actually
don't
felt like
remember it.
Well, she had different like flowers that open up. You have to batarang like certain things. I don't know. It actually required, I think, a little more specificity than a lot of boss battles.
Yeah, because you had to like cut off the stalks, I think.
Yeah.
Like you had to like once the petals opened or something like that, you had to hit a batarang at it and then
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's like the stalk falls right next to you and then yeah.
I don't know. I liked that sequence a lot. Probably more than the Scarecrows.
The Scarecrow's ones were interesting, but I think maybe my biggest problem with Batman in general is he's kind of a whiny baby.
Batman?
Yes, he's a whiny baby. He's a little baby.
Explain.
Yeah.
The amount of time, it's like, yeah, your parents got killed. A lot of people's parents
He doesn't
killed.
talk about it that often.
Yes, he does. It's in the subtext.
Oh, yeah, no, the first time Scarecrow hits you with that stuff, you unzip your mom and dad and body bag.
I don't think it's something that he talks about often, but it's something that is always coming up because it defines who he is.
But I got to tell you, there are people who like lose their families in wars and stuff, and they don't think about their mommy and daddy as much as Batman does.
I mean, it's kind of integral to a lot of
And also,
the
they
legacy.
don't have billions of dollars at the end of the day.
Well, his entire existence is defined by the money left by his parents and the legacy they had. So it's almost something he has to think about on a daily basis. Like you're Thomas Wayne's son, Bruce. You can't just be Batman all day.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys played,
I was Gollum, for fuck's sake.
have any of you guys played the Telltale Batman games?
I played
I
the
hear
first
there's a good
season.
twist on that.
I played the first season.
Okay.
I was going to, and then they shut down, and I didn't want to get stuck on a cliffhanger, so I've never touched
Oh,
it.
it ends
Well,
on
the second season was finished.
Okay.
And I got through the first episode of the second season. I just haven't finished it yet. But
'Cause I played the
yeah,
game
there is a really good twist, and it's actually I don't know if you played the first season.
I
Correlates to the
didn't play
movie.
'em.
It correlates to the movie.
the newest movie?
Yes,
Okay.
it's kind of similar in story.
Yeah.
In terms of, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but
I mean, it's Thomas Wayne wasn't like the big hero that everyone thought he was. That's
Okay.
essentially the twist.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Everyone's not as good as they say they are.
That's always true.
Apparently, our British accents aren't good. And I was very shocked to hear that.
What?
I, for one, didn't do one, but I thoroughly enjoyed
I am
both
not
of yours.
British, so therefore I'm not a subject matter expert on what makes a good British accent. So I can't judge.
I think as far as bad British accents go, we're the best.
Ooh, I like that take.
Yeah, there you go.
There's another villain in this game that I think is the worst aspect of the trilogy,
Oh, what's this?
the Riddler.
Oh.
Ugh. Especially when you get the city.
Just the collectathon nature
Oh, I
of this
don't like the
motherfucker.
trophies.
Yeah.
I don't hate his design. Like, he looks fine, but the fact that he just becomes, we need to make 200 collectible items in every single game. And often, aspects of the ending are locked behind whether or not you do every single one of them, which that is some bullshit. You can't get the best ending of Arkham Knight unless you do 243 Riddler challenges.
Yep.
And it's an important ending.
Yeah, it is quite important.
It's an ending that has still not been clarified. What
Yeah,
happens,
it really
which is
hasn't,
interesting.
because it hasn't determined like what the next step is for Batman in the video game universe, from what I understand.
or if it is Batman, or what's happening.
Yeah,
Because it's got some weird elements to it. But the Riddler doesn't physically appear in this game at all, but he is everywhere.
He just
Yeah,
loves
how
talking.
the fuck does he get all those things all over Arkham? Like, their security's bad enough, everybody's breaking out all the time, but the Riddler just has like free roam to go through vents and shit.
Because
and
he's
put little-
so smart.
He's a squirrely
Super
little
smart, yeah.
He's a squirrely bastard. That's all we know.
I mean, the real question about how the Riddler does stuff is, how did he somehow manage to build 4 giant racetracks underneath Gotham City with giant moving things that'll destroy Batmobiles, go up over walls? Like, who did he pay for this giant engineering feat?
I was really hoping we wouldn't talk about those sequences.
He's in deep with Lucius Fox.
Even that, Batman probably doesn't have enough money to build 4 gigantic racetracks under Gotham City.
I believe he could.
And can you imagine Riddler sitting there like, okay, the Batmobile can have a chain, like it can attach itself and then lower it down into a tunnel and then like shoot left and right.
Yep.
I guess Riddler must be a genius to have pulled that off.
It's implied he's quite intelligent.
Clayface.
His name is Edward Nigma.
Yeah.
Enigma. He's
Yeah.
supposed to be an enigma.
What? I never put that together.
Have you really never?
No, of course I've seen.
I was like, Jesus.
I've seen Batman Forever. That's the Clooney one, right? No, that's the Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, yeah.
But that
Yeah.
that is the Riddler one. That I still prefer Jim Carrey's Riddler to Paul Dano's.
Caffeine will kill ya.
You know, I've never looked into it further, but apparently there was hope for Robin Williams to be the Riddler in one of the Nolan movies at some point.
He was campaigning for it.
Oh,
Was he- I
that would
believe
actually
he
would have been
was.
amazing.
I always thought that would be really good,
Dude,
especially
that would
if
be interesting. Because
Yeah.
that guy's got pathos. He can really pull off.
He could pull off
really could,
intelligent.
yeah.
Yeah.
1 hour photo. That movie.
Yo, I-
oh,
that movie.
boy.
I saw
Insomnia
that
too
movie
was
way
another
too
good
Oh
one.
yeah, I forgot he's in Insomnia.
Yeah.
I think Jim Carrey's an excellent Robotnik, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm excited for this new movie, actually.
Yeah.
For the first time. I wasn't excited for that first one, but...
We also have cameos from Clayface very briefly. Mad Hatter was in the game, but they removed him. And Mad Hatter is possibly the silliest villain that has gotten screen time in this trilogy, maybe?
Yeah, I like him, though.
He's funny. He's a little guy with a big hat.
That just loves to rhyme. Needs to rhyme.
That's a funny, what's his deal? Oh, he rhymes. A lot.
A lot.
He needs to.
A lot of his villains end up being people who are silly and make riddles.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what Batman's villains are, because he has to play detective.
Well, isn't the greatest villain for a superhero someone that is a reflection of a certain character trait and exposes potential flaws, makes them address part of themselves?
I suppose so.
And Batman hates rhyming. He won't rhyme ever.
Yeah.
So that's why Mad Hatter is so good. Yeah.
That's why Daredevil's villains are also good because they can see.
Yeah.
And he can't.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Never thought of
Wow.
that. Never saw
Yeah.
that. Never saw the link.
I can see Batman reading Lord of the Rings. As soon as he gets to Tom Bombadil, he just throws the fucking book against the wall. It's like, I hate rhyming.
Alfred, it just won't stop. He just keeps singing. and it means nothing.
It's been 2 chapters, Alfred.
I don't know how many more words of prose I can get through, Alfred.
We get Ra's al Ghul. He's present in Asylum's morgue anyways.
yeah.
Ventriloquist dummy Scarface shows
Scarface rules. I love him as a villain.
up. Tell me about Scarface. I don't know anything about Scarface.
It's this mild manner ventriloquist who eventually just adopts this like psychotic attitude and becomes like a split personality with
So he's like Jeff Dunham, but evil.
But evil, yeah, exactly.
or
he becomes the doll, so to
arguably
speak.
less evil.
Yeah.
Less evil and less racist.
I don't know. I've seen some billboards, and I got a lot of questions about how Jeff Dunham is still surviving at these times.
But it's
I mean-
a doll. It's not as bad, right?
And Scarface is like a gangster. It's really funny.
Can you name any ventriloquist besides Jeff Dunham that still works today?
Sure, me.
There we go. Jeff Dunham is somehow the representation of all ventriloquism, and he's a horrible racist.
I'm a racist pepper. I make a voice.
Okay, but you're saying Scarface is cool.
I think Scarface is cool. Do you remember the animated series The Batman? It's the Batman where it's it was on like the WB, and it was
It's very hard to talk about all the Batman and know
Yeah.
specifically where we're at.
Yeah.
But Scarface was really interesting in that one. That series was mostly about the villains that he was fighting. It was kind of more serialized, which was kind of cool. And Scarface in that one is just really like interesting.
And what's cool in Asylum is the dummy just shows up places and it's not moving a lot, and it's just there, and that's really upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Because you think if you don't look, it's going to be gone. And it probably just disappears at some points, too. They're good at that, where if you look one way in these games and you look back, Man-Bat's up your ass or something like that.
Man bats up your ass.
All of a sudden pulling you off the roof. Hey.
And they did have some restraint. There is no Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, or Catwoman. They reference them, but they're not there. And I appreciate... saving some things.
They had to save all their boob energy for Arkham City.
Talking about the Penguin?
No. Yeah, well, that too. Yeah. I found the Catwoman.
His nipples have broken bottles around him.
Well,
Catwoman in, that's also another weird thing. His spectacles are broken bottles.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
I thought that was
interesting,
pretty cool.
but why?
I don't know if it got like wedged in there and it's like taking it out would be worse.
Because it's a replacement for like a monocle, because I guess they don't think people would wear monocles anymore. And I guess that's true.
I mean, how weird would it look if Colin Farrell wore a monocle in the new one?
yeah, it would look uncharacteristic.
It'd be jarring. He
Yeah.
should instead always be using theater glasses to like get a closer look at Batman.
To pay attention to the next aria that's about to happen on stage.
Anything else? We didn't talk about the combat. We haven't really talked about the combat at all.
Ooh, the Assassin's Creed combat.
Third person brawler detective action adventure game is what I put here. I think it's odd that Batman does fill up quite a bit of the screen. He is quite large.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you run, you jump, you climb, you crouch, you glide, you grapple gun. And the combat is fairly straightforward, I would say.
It's counters and
attacks, stuns, and counters. 3 buttons.
I'm playing it on hard, so I don't have the indicator when
That's
to counter.
cool.
And that makes it way better.
Yeah.
It's super hard. Like, it takes a while to get into the flow, but when you take out a group of like 10 dudes, like, I actually felt like Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was wearing a cape in real life, but I was pretty fucking awesome.
You wear a cape when you're playing?
Down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It helps with immersion.
Yeah, I was mesmerized by the cape physics, so
Honestly,
instead of throw
that
one
is
on.
one part of the game where I had shown it to my ex, and she was just like, "What? Like the cape got her." I was like, "Okay, well, all right."
Yeah, for a game that came out back then.
And the cape wears damage as the game goes on. I think that's
I think
cool
his whole
detail.
armor and
Yeah.
everything, like you could start to see like cuts and scrapes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a really
tears
nice
in the
touch.
cape too, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see Batman deteriorate through all of his adventures. The fights, though, not on hard mode. You get these little like color indicators that say when things are about to happen, and I know at least in some of the later ones, if you always just hit counter or like block and like counterattack, you don't have to pay attention at all. If you just always spam certain buttons, the game is definitely more rewarding when you try and move slow and think about it. But this is unfortunately a game you can often tappa.
Well, yeah, for the most part, like you know, if it's like, do you want to like double down and just beat this dude into a pulp while this other guy is like coming at you? Like, do you continue or do you counter and then go after that guy next? Like, it's kind of a balancing act, especially when you start to fight like 10 dudes.
Yeah.
And when
Or
Batman
introduce more enemy types as well.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if they start to have like weapons and stuff. And
Yeah.
you want to
know
go for
which
those
one to
guys
take down
first. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
and seeing Batman move around in a fight, I remember being blown away first time seeing that, like juggling an enemy and like does his flip over there.
Yep.
It looks great when he's moving.
I always remember the thing he does with his gauntlet.
Yeah.
I always remember the blocking of the punch even from like behind. That's very ingrained in my memory because I was just like, oh shit, like they're really getting sophisticated. Like we forget, but 2009 games were not that complicated.
Yeah.
At this time too, like you had some good animation, but when you really got it right, it really kind of shone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever use that when you were bouncing?
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, I totally kicked so much.
You punched one dude, did a big somersault
wanna know
20
what
feet away, and punched another dude.
Do you want to really know what my biggest
Front
move
roll,
was?
jump at someone.
My biggest move was, are we really doing this? Come on. And then them being like,
plead to their humanity.
it's not even
the
pleading
triangle
for the
button.
Humanity. It's not about humanity. It's about annoyance.
Yeah.
Are you going to be annoyed at trying to hurt me?
Ah, shit, here we go again.
It's like, God damn it. Okay. I'm glad I'm not a bouncer anymore.
No, the one move that sticks in my head is the barrage of like 20 punches that you deliver on him. Like you have to, it's like, it's like a piston.
He won't kill you, but he will make sure your digestive
All your
system
ribs
is
are
broken.
broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your ribs are done, dude.
That you'll bleed out your ass for the next like week.
Yeah, right.
I always
would have killed me.
I liked the unnecessary front
don't have
flip
teeth no more.
kick to the head. As
The
con-
kicks to the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just that.
You're dead. Those are combat boots, man.
Yeah, to the back of your skull after he just
know.
punched you 47 times. Like,
You're at least mentally disabled for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
the
at
gun
least
down.
You're paraplegic, man.
I don't have teeth, but at least I'm a Batman.
I'm a Batman.
it's always funny too when you just whoop like 20 dudes, and then the fight's over and the little bats come out. You get your XP, and then you look around at just all the lifeless bodies in the room.
yeah, they are
They're-
not breathing.
They don't move.
No.
They're not like groaning. No.
There should be them, like, some of them going like, oh, fuck, what? Oh, God.
My spleen. Oh my God.
Should at least hear like some labored breathing at the very
yeah.
least.
Or make a joke out of it, like, can we start moving yet? like little things like that could be funny.
Yeah, even then. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Another cool aspect, stealth combat. That was my favorite aspect
Stealth
of the
is
combat.
so good in this game.
So good, yeah.
Take the time to move quietly,
Yes.
move around people, jump up. to the conveniently placed gargoyles in the corner of most rooms.
Perfect.
And hang a guy from a cord.
My favorite part were the spontaneous, like, holy shit, there's a whole team of people coming in, and you've suddenly got to kind of be like...
It's a puzzle.
Fuck. Yeah, it's a puzzle. Yeah. And unlike a lot of games like Far Cry and stuff like that, it's almost like doing a ballet. It's kind of a dance that they want you to understand. It is a puzzle in so many words.
Yeah, I mean, when the goal is to remain hidden, it's a puzzle how you move around the area, how you violently rip off a grate and then gingerly set it down next to it.
Yep. Yeah, you just kind of like lightly push it away and then just...
Yep. There's a lot of Batman-sized grates in Arkham Asylum, which is lucky for him. He can move around there.
I am always impressed at video game ventilation systems.
Yeah.
Just they're always conveniently human-sized.
Expansive, too.
Yes.
That's a ridiculous podcast topic. Ventilation systems in video games.
Oh, yeah.
Invite me back for that one, please.
We
If I have to talk about Final Fantasy VII again, I'm going to scream.
I resisted once earlier today.
Okay, good.
Yeah, stealth combat. You got silent takedowns, drop from perches. Use explosive gel. We'll mention that one more time. Floor grates,
Explosive gel.
stone gargoyles. Yeah, let's talk about the gadgets. Because
The
that's
explosive gel is ASMR to me when he uses it. Just the sound of it, for some reason, I don't know why, it just hits me so good.
It's like
And then the little...
how cute is Batman too? He's like little bat. He draws a little bat every time he's
just make... He doesn't need to do that, but he does.
What, like it'd be funny if he just drew like a wiener one time.
That would be funny.
It's always like bat. What if you just wrote like Bruce or something?
Oh, shit, and he just raises it.
That's bad.
There's something really good about, like, you played like Stardew Valley probably, right?
Yeah.
The pop when you pull out the fucking, like, the veggies, like, oh, it's just like, it sticks with you.
Yeah.
Or the crinkle when you're jumping on Torrent and Elden Ring. Yeah.
And Elden Ring is great.
For me, it's the orbs, like absorbing the orbs in, like, Devil May Cry games. That oh my god, yeah,
It's satisfying.
so satisfying.
I love Devil May Cry.
Some other gadgets. The Batarang used for some puzzle solving, hitting certain things, breaking Joker teeth that were left by the Riddler. And yeah, I don't think you can remote control it yet in this one,
I think,
which is a terrible thing that happens in
I don't
these
think
games.
you could. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need none of that anyway.
The Bat Claw, which is extremely versatile, actually. That thing can do almost anything Batman needs it to. Disable enemies, disarm them, grab things out of reach, and just go up to every gargoyle that was conveniently put in the top corner of every room.
What is Gotham? Come on.
There's no gargoyles in this room.
We gotta decorate this prison with nice shit.
This is a prison, for fuck's sake. Let's get some gargoyles up here.
They'll scare the inmates.
Make sure they can hold a human body. Okay.
I think I saw a dude in a green suit leaving puzzles around here, guys. You're crazy. That didn't happen. No.
I also like that it seems like every time you run into enemies, they went into the room first. Like, nope, no gargoyles in here. No guns, guys. No guns in this room.
Yeah.
And they like shoot at a gargoyle, and then you just swing to the next one. Like, where'd he go? It's like there's 3 other gargoyles. Look to those quick. It's a conceit. It's gameplay.
Video game logic.
Video game logic. Cryptographic sequencer, mostly just to like hack into stuff, hack into the mainframe. You have the line launcher.
This also has a staple of the time, which now has become a running joke: the detective vision.
Detective vision.
Yeah. You see everything in X-ray mode.
Well,
yeah.
and that, like, it's so funny because a lot of video games still do that, but like even like The Witcher 3 does that.
Yeah.
But what's funny about it now is that it's just such a trope. But why would you ever turn that off?
That's the problem with things like this. If you can see interactable objects or the way certain enemies' weaknesses by having detective vision on,
Batman
just seeing
should
what
already be
doors
able
you
to
can,
see that.
just seeing what doors you can even open. That means you play
Yep.
only in detective vision.
This reminds me of I just was playing Dying Light 2 and just constantly spamming that that kind of like awareness button where like
Sure.
you could see all the items you can pick up because you're scavenging everything in that game. So it's like constantly hitting that button to see what you can scavenge and what you can go through. Man,
That sounds annoying.
it really is annoying. That's probably my biggest complaint about that game.
Some reviewers call this the greatest comic book game of all time. People loved it. I remember the buzz being
Superman
crazy.
64. Have these people never heard of that game?
Yeah, I love flying.
People don't
through
like good
rings.
games. Is the
You don't
problem.
like flying through rings to save Lois?
That's how Superman works, though. I love those movies when he just flies through rings for 2 hours straight.
Yeah,
I
in a
have
simulation.
not thought
though.
about that game in a long time.
I am sorry to bring that up again.
Now it's back.
Yeah.
Have there been good comic book games since this that are not Batman related?
Spider-Man.
yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, duh.
Justice League for the PlayStation 2 was pretty decent, I heard.
What
It was
about
like Champions? It was made by the Champions of Nora developer.
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe?
Injustice
Or Injustice.
actually is really
And
good.
Justice was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Justice is the shit.
Yeah. And 2 was really good.
So the Riddler, we have 240 challenges in this game. I just have a running challenge list for the
Gross.
Riddler.
Okay, come on.
Oh my god.
They set up the sequel. They were imagining it months before release, and they put a secret room in this game containing hints, blueprints, and concept art for the next game. This was hidden in the Asylum Warden's office. And the problem is, when you put your detective vision on, you can see what walls can be broken, and that's why you draw your little Batmans on with your explosive gel. This one doesn't have that. And they were surprised nobody found this hidden room. It's like there's no reason to think this one wall on the middle of 40 rooms and 36 corridors. But if you put 3 gels on this one wall in this one room, it blows up, and you can see all of like the development stuff for the next game, kind of hinting towards what's coming. And that's cool. They do this in Arkham City as well, which I appreciate. And in Arkham Knight, they kind of tease some things too. That's cool. There's a handful of DLCs for this. One last part about Arkham Asylum, we should probably mention the controversial ending with the Joker fight.
Where he gets buff.
There he gets super ripped.
My understanding is that this wasn't going to be how they wanted to end the game, but they were told by WB, like, we need a big fight, you need a final boss, and it has to be the Joker. And that's my understanding.
It does feel really out of place to fight a super roided up
really
Joker
dumb.
at the end of like
Yeah.
such like a comic book story driven game, like old school comic, not like the expansive city or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. It's out of place.
It does feel weird.
Yeah, it really is out of everything. I mean, I know, it's kind of similar to like the Bane fight where Bane is like super roided up. I get it, but like for Joker to just like, I'm just going to inject this thing and turn super huge like within minutes, like just uncharacteristic.
Yeah. Also, it's like, how do bones work?
Yeah, right.
You injected yourself, but that's got to be painful and uncomfortable, and I don't know.
Perhaps.
And also, I think it's all right. So how does Batman beat him? He draws a little Batman with his explosive gel on his fucking fist and punches him. You lose your hand, man.
Yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, dude. That's not how explosions work.
That's not. It was on the outside of my fist. That doesn't. No, Batman.
No, that's not how that explodes.
Even in
how
the
that
fight,
works.
he takes the time to draw the little bat too. I love it.
Little wings. It's a.
I'll make
Alfred,
this shit look cute.
Alfred, I made it look like a bat. Alfred, come look at this.
Alfred, I've gotten
Wait, let me
really
take a
good at
picture of
drawing
this
a bat
first.
really fast.
He keeps rhyming, Alfred. I hate it.
His hat annoys me.
He's too short and his hat's too tall.
What does the 3/4 mark card mean?
He made me go to a tea party, Alfred.
I hate you. You know this.
He's based off of mercury poisoning. I should be able to beat up someone who's got mercury poisoning.
We're going to take a quick commercial break to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the HyperX Podcast Network, and we'll be right back to discuss the rest of the Arkham series.
The Hardcore Gaming 101 podcast is on a mission to rank the top games of all time. I like the idea that when Bruce Wayne gets angry, he switches to the Batman voice.
Why do you have such a problem making Boomerang shaped like a bat? You mean like Batman? Not like Batman, just make it for me! Bruce Wayne, uncanny even with this guy.
It's a Herculean task, and I'd be lying if I said it hasn't taken a toll on our cognitive faculties.
Most people would be happy to have a job during a global pandemic. Dennis!
Hardcore Gaming 101, twice a week, every week, right here on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Hello, my name's Jonathan Dunn, host of the O3C podcast. Every week I'm joined by my two best gaming buddies, Chris and Minty, and we talk about the games we're playing, the games we love, and how they rank alongside our sacrosanct top 100 favourite video games of all time lists. deep dives into gaming mechanics, history and lore abound, all topped off with lashings of irreverent wry British wit, witterings and wisdom. For details on the show and more, head to o3c.games and tune in every Monday on the HyperX Podcast Network.
It's time to tap in with the HyperX Quadcast S microphone. The stunning HyperX Quadcast S features dynamic, customizable RGB lighting, a convenient tap-to-mute sensor, and 4 selectable polar patterns, so it can broadcast crystal clear audio whether you're gaming, streaming, podcasting, or impressing your remote colleagues and classmates. So what are you waiting for? Join the Quad Squad and tap in today with the HyperX Quadcast S microphone.
This is an ugly picture of a great Joker.
It's a good illustration.
You like it?
It's a good illustration. It's a bad cover.
Well, that's
a panel.
This is a great segue.
Too much red.
This is a great segue because
it?
Doesn't Arkham City have one of the worst video game covers of all time?
Yeah. Oh, the Game of the Year edition one.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to pull this up so we can look
Okay,
at this beautiful piece of art here.
Oh, can I say right away that Coheed, one of my favorite bands, Coheed and Cambria, does a song for the Arkham City video game. It's called Deranged, and it's a really bad song.
Yeah.
It's a really, really bad song.
Okay, let's look at the Game of the Year edition
10
cover.
out of 10.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, there's significantly less blood on that version.
5 out of 5, one of the greatest games ever made, period. Bonus content includes Harley Quinn's Revenge, 5 out of 5 must own. Game of the Year, 4 logos, a rating. Batman is all white and he's smearing blood off his face.
Yeah.
This is atrocious.
This is atrocious. This
Yeah,
is
it's
bad. That's just bad.
The title should be the biggest thing in your fucking...
There is no title.
What do you
There's
mean?
one.
You see it and it's like in the far little bit.
No, the most important thing should be 10 out of 10. Big fucking bold right there.
Yeah.
Remember when they would call things Game of the Year editions? Who judges that? It's the Game of the Year. What do you mean?
What do you
Jeff
have, what do you have
Keighley
for
does.
Game of the
Was
Years?
Jeff Keighley like a big staple in that time?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
he would have been.
We have G4TV.com, Game
Whoa.
Pro,
Oh,
Fuck.
boy.
Metacritic. Game Informer is the top one, though, 10 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a 3D compatible game. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Because games were made with 3D televisions in mind back in the day for a while. Which
That was
is
supposed to be the future.
It could have been.
James Cameron. He's still out there doing something.
Yep.
Arkham City, yes. Release date, October 18th, 2011 for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Don't worry, Wii U owners, you got it a year later.
I played it on the Wii U.
Nice. You're the only one.
I owned a copy of this on the Wii U. It's actually a lot easier, the map, like going through the maps.
I
and
overheard
everything,
that
and-
was kind of the pro of the Wii U.
Yep, that's it, man. That's all I needed. And I love that dumb clunky fucking thing. I was a fan. I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big fan of the Wii U. We don't need to discuss everything because these games are largely what happened before with
They're
some
largely
changes.
the same, yes.
Arkham City, the big change is Arkham City.
A contained area made by Dr. Hugo Strange.
An absolutely batshit concept.
We have too many crazy people in this city, so let's take a small part of the city that no one gives a shit about,
The ghetto is
put a wall around it, and just dump everybody in there and just let them have fun.
Surely this will go really well.
Yes.
Just let them do what they want. As long as they don't get out, that's fine.
Yeah.
And
Put a
there's-
big wall.
Yeah. And
Let them sort themselves out.
I just love politicians like, wait, what? Even we're against this.
Yeah.
And then Batman's like, I guess this is kind of okay.
They're almost to Rivendell.
So Hugo just watched that one season of The Wire and was like, "This could work.
Yeah.
we could do this."
I'm a
I'm a doctor,
Are they gonna
I know.
Sit on their ass before they get the ring to Mordor.
How many Lord of the Rings references are we on so far?
We were talking about it in the last podcast.
Yeah,
It's just,
okay.
It's going to happen.
It's all good.
So the crux of this is Arkham City, open world action adventure game. Instead of being confined to the island, you can fly around to many different parts of the city. It's successful to various extents. A lot of people, I think, have a feeling that Asylum's the best, City is the next, and then Night's the worst as
Yeah.
far as the main trilogy.
That's how I deal.
Yeah.
That's been
Personally,
the consensus, yeah.
Personally, gameplay-wise, this one's the weakest to me. The open world exploration isn't as good as Night. Just strictly gameplay, leaving
Right.
story alone.
Okay.
Flying around this city isn't as fun to me. It's fine. the world's a little more fully realized, I believe, in Night.
Well, because it's Gotham.
Yeah, this
It's
is
in Gotham in its entirety in Night. Whereas this is just like a ghetto, so to speak.
It's literally the slums in Gotham. They convert it to an immense prison. This has 5 times the virtual footprint of Arkham Asylum, which I was surprised to hear it's only 5 times as big.
It seems huge. It's
actually,
bigger than what it
it's
is.
kind of small.
I think it's when they say the footprint, though, most of the buildings have nothing other than the outside.
See, what it gains though is verticality.
Yeah,
And I think that's what kind of that kind of draws a different like understanding of space, and
They did an experiment because they're like, when they were getting the Batmobile ready for the next game, they said, well, let's just drop a Batmobile in Arkham City and see what it's like driving on those streets.
impossible.
Huge failure because it wasn't designed for that.
Yeah.
And the streets were narrow. You can shoot up very high and fly around the city. Batman must be fucking ripped because he'll just grappling hook something and it just shoots him so high in the air. He just sticks his arms out.
I mean, you can't fucking tell. Look at him.
He goes, "Woo."
He's the animated series jacked. Like, look at him go.
barrel chested, pistons for arms. Hell yeah.
Many stories and characters are optional content. A lot in Arkham Asylum weren't. It was all very much follow this line, essentially.
Which I prefer. Why am I playing a Batman game and not wanting to be Batman?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, in the other games, it's fine that you want me to be like Dick Grayson for a bit, whatever. It's kind of a nice little thing. Or I'm Tim Drake with a staff or whatever. But I don't, like, that's not why I am here.
What do you mean?
You create a whole other way of playing this video game. And you only have it for a small amount of time. And usually it's not as satisfying because you spent less fucking time on it. You're making filler content. Stop it.
It depends on the quality of the filler content. To me, the problem is it ruins the narrative thrust of the game.
Oh, yeah.
We have to stop Penguin over there. I think I saw Mad Hatter having a tea party. I really got to check this out.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean,
We got an active hostage situation over here. Yeah, but these Riddler trophies.
Did you see this Riddler trophy, dude? I have to like navigate my batarang.
He's psychotic, but he makes fun games.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, how do I get underneath this fence?
Master Bruce, why aren't you at the scene yet? Throws a batarang 1,000 times in a puzzle.
Shit.
Alfred, send more batarangs. And that's what's going on in all of these Riddler trophies. But moveset, you got swoop and glide. You can counter multiple moves simultaneously in this game. You can catch projectiles, and some gadgets have increased combat capabilities. They were redesigned to be more combat focused, some of these.
This game is a lot more combat focused.
Yes.
New gadgets, smoke bombs, remote electrical charge for shooting electricity for...
Trying to open a fucking door.
Yeah.
Okay, it's open now.
Yep.
Jesus.
Oh, the door's not working. Just shoot it a
that
bunch.
felt fucking fun.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm a detective.
Wow, I'm really helping.
I'm a detective.
It's like when like you have like a kid and then like you're doing something adult and the kid's like, I want to help, and you're like, well, check out this Fisher Price lawnmower.
If you shoot this gun at this little vent over there, I'm helping.
Do it 5 times, though.
You certainly are driving that toy across the lawn.
You got to do it 5 times in a row, though, bud. Mm-hmm. I did it.
Your lines aren't straight.
You also have the freeze blast grenade, so you can encase enemies in ice and throw this in water to create platforms, because that's a thing that exists outside of Breath of the Wild for some reason. And this disruptor, which remotely disables guns and mines, that's a very Batman-sounding gadget. I like that.
I like that
one.
Batman.
And then there's a moment, too, where the guy tries to shoot you. He's like, wait, what? And then you have an extra moment to beat the shit out of him to where he can't eat anymore.
No, it's okay. He's just sleeping.
He's asleep.
He's just asleep.
They're all sleeping.
The Batman Memorial Plaza. It's just like, oh, this guy was mentally ill. He didn't deserve to die.
We don't need a bigger
at least
prison.
the streets are safe.
We need a bigger care facility is what we need.
Yeah.
You could pay for it, too.
Stereoscopic 3D mode available for 3D
no.
HD TVs on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. I would love so much to try this.
really bad.
Maybe I wonder if
We did try it.
I wonder if the
we
app-
tried it at MGC.
we did. Was it?
It was the pinball.
Yeah, it was the pinball.
We did this.
It actually works pretty good. We
It's not bad.
They had it at
kinda
MGC.
strange.
One of the rooms had that set up, where you could try a 3D television with like a 360 game. I'd be curious.
I never got the chance to, because it was such like a short run of games. You know, in this time where like 3D was supposed to be the next big thing, and then it just crashed upon
it was,
us.
It was around in a big way for a small time.
Yes.
Well, and it should have succeeded, frankly.
Yeah.
It does add a layer of depth that you can't get with anything fucking else. So.
The 3DS, amazing.
The 3DS rules.
And it still rules.
Especially the new 3DS XL,
Yep.
which tracks your face, and which actually makes it work for the first time.
So we have some new heroes in this game. Catwoman, plus she has a full DLC story experience.
She's too many cat puns.
I think she's fine. I mean, she's a cat pun person.
I like her front flip.
I like in her DLC stuff when she's like climbing on the ceiling and stuff.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
She's
her like finger
takes her
strength
whip.
must be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whip is fun. Robin and Nightwing make appearances as well as, okay, so I don't read the comics and I don't know a lot of the extended universe, but Azrael, however Azrael, this character, immediately I'm like, you're my dude. And
Jean-Luc Baptiste or something? What the hell is his name?
That sounds right.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I remember his design just thinking, who the fuck is this crazy guy? And he wants to be the new Batman.
So
Batman, he's dumb though, you say.
So when Batman gets his back broken
by the Bane,
he takes over.
Yeah. I don't know. I like his design in this. I like the way he looks. Yeah. Like a Knights Templar. He's like from an old order, it looks like.
Yeah, he's kind of psychotic.
Villains for this game, of course, it wouldn't be a Batman game without the Joker. Even when he's dead, he's the main villain, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I think he had actually in here in Arkham Knight, he had more spoken lines of dialogue than Kevin Conroy did.
Way more.
Yeah.
Way more. Batman just says like a quick one line at the end of something.
Joker's got a whole monologue afterwards.
But who's going to win, Master Bruce? Not him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Master Chiefing it a little.
Yeah, if Master Chief missed every joke.
Yeah, well,
Finish the
I
mission.
don't think both of them have a great sense of humor, so, you know.
We had a tea party, Alfred.
But the hostages.
Alfred, are you familiar with land?
He couldn't stop Alfred.
All right, we also have Victor Zsasz. He actually has a decent little story in this one where you have to track the phones around that are ringing.
I hate that shit.
I don't know if it's great gameplay. I hate it. It's boring.
I thought it was interesting. I liked the concept was interesting. I just hated like kind of like getting to an area, hearing a damn phone ring, and then that breaks your immersion because it's like, well, shit. Now I actually got to find the freaking phone because I can't just leave.
Yeah.
Can you delay the bomb? I have to answer a phone call.
Right. Okay.
Hello.
From a serial killer.
We have Bane and Poison Ivy returning. Harley Quinn. This time, Tara Strong takes over voicing for some reason.
No, she's good, though. She's a good Harley Quinn.
She does well, yeah.
Yeah, no complaints there. Hugo Strange is set up as the semi-main dude for the first half anyways.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get a strong villain vibe from him too much.
He's a calm villain, which Batman rarely has. He's kind of a Luthor type. He's kind of like he's a bit more of a mastermind.
We have Two-Face, which
I love Two-Face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two-Face might be one of my favorite Batman villains.
I don't love him in these games. Just a maniac with a gun who makes you fight dudes in a bank.
In these games, though, he's kind of sick of this shit. And that's what I like about him. He's kind of like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to kill whoever I need to. This fucking sucks. He's right. It sucks.
It does. We get it.
I don't want to say that I like Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face because I don't. But at least they embrace the two aspects of his nature, whereas I feel like
Brad, I've seen your Tommy Lee Jones closet, and most of it's Two-Face.
That's Tommy
Lee Jones.
Do not open that door.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know when Two-Face is just a violent criminal who sometimes decides things by flipping a coin. I don't think it's the most interesting thing.
I think okay, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's built up. The main villain of The Dark Knight is Two-Face, and when they give him proper time to like be developed, it's very interesting. But if he's just crazy the whole time and then flips a coin, that's your shtick. I'd rather have.
I don't think that's the whole shtick, but
kinda. Yeah. We have Penguin. I think Penguin's pretty good. Penguin is just like an old school gangster type.
Yeah.
Or he eats raw fish and spits blood at children.
He's always been for me the
And then
most
has like pet penguins.
mystifying Batman villain. Like how drunk or high were the writers when they're like, "Get a
Have you
fucking
read old
penguin
Batman
guy."
comics?
Yeah.
Not that old.
They ain't drunk or high. That's just how people wrote. They're dumb.
We're just gonna get
IQs have been increasing over time, my friend.
All right, so this guy looks like a penguin, right?
We're gonna make him big and fat. He's gonna eat raw fish.
Well, they don't do that in the original, like his original appearances. Like he's pretty fucking straight up. Like especially in like the 50s and stuff. That's when a lot of these characters are written. Where mobster movies were the biggest thing on the face of the fucking planet. So giving your characters like a gimmick or like an idea, like to make his nose pointy and kind of make him like frankly, Jewish, was kind of novel at the time.
That makes sense. I can see that now.
Yeah.
But that's there. It's all Batman is literally, you can go through his entire history and find him to be trend chasing.
I have an umbrella.
I
have an umbrella. See,
He's got an umbrella that releases noxious gas.
this is a Monopoly guy's bad uncle or something. Like,
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can fart out of my umbrella, and he's riding a fucking ostrich.
Genius.
It's very good.
It's very good.
Yeah, I the Penguin.
Alfred, I fought a guy who looks like a penguin
I think
today.
you might be right.
Yeah,
He had penguins with little lasers on their freaking heads, like following me.
What do you call a penguin riding an ostrich? It's not a riddle. I saw it today, Alfred.
That's a really good joke. That's actually a joke in and of itself. We need to write that one down.
Remember that one.
Oh, good. That's good.
Talia al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul,
Or Raish. Rosh.
Ra's al Ghul.
Qui-Gon Jinn,
yeah.
Raish.
however you want to say it. Yeah, he makes a pretty big appearance in this
Kill the
game.
black bastard.
And
Remember that?
Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is one of the more silly. Well, they're all pretty silly concepts when you think about them.
you have a giant crocodile man.
Crocodile Man. We have the dude who's made out of clay, who's a failed actor.
Yeah, you have a Mexican luchador that is just pumped full of steroids all the time.
We got the Mad Hatter. None of it makes any sense.
No, he's cool.
Okay, we all
We've established
we all
that.
agree
That's
Mad
fine.
Hatter is their favorite
leave the
villain.
Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
We
alone.
all agree it's fine. He loves tea.
Yeah.
I rhyme.
Yeah.
One of the all the time.
What, going back to comics, there's just a recent comic book series called The Puzzle Box, and it's all centered around Batman villains, and it's fucking amazing. Like, if there's a comic book series you should get
shit.
into, it's like a 6 or 7 series of comics where it's like a whodunit, like the Riddler's dead, and Gotham PD captures all the villains, puts them in jail because they're all like in one place trying to find out, because the Riddler
Finally doing their job.
Yeah, finally doing their jobs, but they're finding out like who killed the Riddler, and they're pulling all the villains in one by one to interrogate them. And the Mad Hatter scenes are so amazing because they keep like yelling at him, "Stop fucking rhyming!" And they're like, "But I can't. Therefore, I must chant out of the band."
And then he starts doing some super obscure, like iambic pentameter, and they're like, "I think he's rhyming somehow. We're not. I don't know enough, but it sounds like it rhymes."
But it's a really good series. It's and it's kind of like
see, I'm mentally handicapped. Please don't give me a slap.
I really look forward to the next Batman movie where he's played by Eminem.
Ooh, I will. Wow.
The only way to make Mad Hatter cool, literally Eminem.
Warner
Honestly,
Brothers, if
I'd
you're
fucking
listening,
watch that.
yeah, I really would.
We got Calendar Man making an appearance.
Calendar Man is really.
Oh, I forgot about
interesting.
Calendar Man.
Really underutilized.
Yeah.
Super underutilized, but the Long Halloween is kind of centered around.
And I like Calendar Man.
But by the way, have you seen the animated adaptation of the Long Halloween?
No, I haven't
Part
actually.
one
That
and
is
part
on my
two?
list. Yeah,
I think it's on HBO now.
it's on HBO. Yeah,
Put it right on the top of your list. It's really.
I haven't seen it either.
good.
I heard it was good. Yeah.
I give this a huge thumbs up. It's one of my favorite Batman movies. It's really good.
Calendar Man is exciting because if you have, I don't know if it's this game or just
He remembers
Arkham
your
Knight.
birthday
Well,
for once.
If you go there on certain days, he'll have different dialogue for you
Based on the clock within the.
based on the internal clock.
what
So
I heard, yeah.
if you can set it to different days and
I
different
like
things.
that.
It's small. He'll have different dialogue, but it's cool. I know it's in Arkham Knight. I don't know if it's in this one as well. It probably is.
I like that.
But yeah, that's this one. Calendar Man's recording specific days for dialogue. We also have Solomon Grundy. Who's that?
Solomon Grundy's a zombie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Solomon Grundy's born on a Tuesday, fucking on a Saturday, getting high on Friday.
I can't remember. Was he a strongman or something back in the day?
He was a
carnival
dude.
creature or something.
He was a carnival creature, big dude.
He's a carnival creature. He revived by hoodoo, I believe.
Yeah.
Please don't quote me on this.
No,
I don't know a lot about.
If we have anything wrong, please write to us.
Yeah.
No, I don't need
But I
that.
swear there is
I
some
want that.
sort of like voodoo spirituality around him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like some sort of strongman carnival freak who gets transformed into a zombie after he dies and gets sent after Batman.
We also have Mad Hatter, Deadshot, and Hush make appearances.
Hush is interesting, and why?
Because no one can do plastic surgery that well, but apparently they can for him.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Hush is literally just Band-Aid face, I call him.
Yeah.
Have you ever read Hush?
No.
It's a good book. It's actually a really good
It's a good song.
Is that the one with the deaf girl that's a writer? Wait.
I do believe so.
Yeah, deaf girl that's a writer.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that is a good book.
Hush is really good. It's 12 issues, though. That was a whole year-long event in the mid-2000s for Batman. And the mystery kind of gets a little weird, but Hush is interesting.
We also have Clayface. Clayface is the Joker you interact with most of the time because Joker is dying from his extreme Titan virus that he took. So is it a virus they want to say?
So
yeah.
dumb.
Really.
But I don't know. They were written into a corner when they had him become a roided out monster and they needed to have him.
And then they had to shrink him down, and it's like, well, is it normal now, or is it something that is just gonna like slowly kill him?
And the Joker's so obsessed with keeping up appearances and not losing his mystique that he convinces Clayface to pretend to be him.
That I remember that being like kind of like a crazy twist. Like I didn't put two and two together like at first. Like,
And you can tell if you're using detective vision because you'll notice he has no skeleton.
yes,
And
that's what I ended up. That's what I ended up hearing after the fact.
yeah, because you don't notice that the first time.
Yeah.
You're just like, those stupid game designers didn't even give him a skeleton.
Wow, they totally dropped the ball on that one.
No, turns out they were right. Secrets and stuff. There's a big head mode. Why?
I don't know why.
For those nights that you just get really drunk and
Yeah. When you're
Yeah.
playing at the
You
10th
wanna play some
time.
big head.
Yeah. If you need it to be exciting on your 10th playthrough.
what could make this game better? Should we drop a new DLC? Nah, just make the heads real fucking big.
Yeah, you remember GoldenEye, right?
Dude, big butt mode or something, you know?
Big butt.
I'd actually play that.
That'd be funny.
I'd actually play that.
Killer Croc has a secret cameo. You have to go out of your way back into a sewer on a weird time to find him down there. That's a cool thing. Mm-hmm. There is DLC. Catwoman has her own story. Challenge maps, which they're not for me, but they're fine for who want them. Little
They were
combat
kind of
challenges.
fun. Yeah, the combat challenges were kind of fun, at least to kind of like fight as like different characters. Like even
I played that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like that mode a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that it's more for people that want it. And I know with the problem, not even a problem, with Arkham Knight, there's so many that it's like, I can't.
Yeah.
If it was a small amount, I'd be like, I'll knock these out. But then eventually it just gets too big and I say that's too much. Harley Quinn has her own little story pack. And our boy, the Riddler, has upped his game. 440 Riddler challenges in Arkham
Well,
City.
now he has a whole ghetto to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what's nice in Arkham City is they designed the city first and then added Riddler trophies after the fact. With Knight, it seems like the city was sometimes built around his Riddler trophies,
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense. But
I think it's awesome.
the Riddler's a great, yeah. 440 Riddler challenges. Then Rocksteady starts working on their next game, but it's taking too long, so they decide we have to do something to increase the Arkham series. We need more money.
Arkham Oranges.
Arkham Oranges would be a great name, but the first thing that comes out is Batman Arkham Unhinged, comic book series, October 2011 through January 2013, set before and during the events of the game. But then Arkham Origins comes out. This was not written by Paul Dini. This was written by Corey May, Ryan Galetta, and Duma Wenshu. WB Games Montreal took over development duties, who were working on Arkham Knight. WB Games they previously had done the Wii U port for Arkham City. We had mentioned before Troy Baker is the Joker, and Batman is voiced by Roger Craig Smith,
Not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice, honestly. He's got such a wide range.
Ezio, Chris from Resident Evil, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Absolutely.
That is a pretty good range.
He is the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
By some fans' perspectives.
Jaleel White for me.
I like Jaleel. I think he should come back.
Yeah.
I'd take a Sonic that actually had more of a cartoon vibe.
They brought the Tails actress back to be Tails. Like, why not?
In the new movie?
In the new movie, yeah.
But
Really? They didn't get a celebrity? They got Idris Elba, Ben Schwartz, and...
Idris Elba is
Lady?
sexy enough for everybody.
I'll kill you, Sonic.
I was just talking in length about Idris Elba is apparently a rapper now.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
There's a song that he has in Gran
he's been
Turismo
for a
7.
long time,
I didn't know this at all. Like all of a sudden, like there was a song in Gran Turismo 7 where he's like, "Watch me in the Maserati," you know, put me in the back seat of a black van, you know, and that's my British accent. But
Not bad.
We're going to get compliments sent to us now.
yeah,
Yes.
wow, you sounded just like Idris Elba.
You look like him, too.
Wow, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The power of audio. Arkham Origins. Arkham Origins came out October 25th, 2013 for the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U. This was originally planned to be a prequel featuring Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and The Flash.
What the fuck?
They decided instead to do this.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
That would be a lot of work, but it would have been cool.
We're going to be getting the Justice League with a Rocksteady game soon enough.
Yeah.
And key changes for this game, besides a different development team, which is a hard sell to anyone who's a major fan of a certain series, much like BioShock 2. It's not made by the same people. Is it really BioShock?
BioShock 2 is really good, though.
Yeah.
True, but it's one of those things you have to overcome a preconceived notion of. Yeah, it's just the difficulty of that. And this game is set 8 years before Asylum on Christmas Eve in Old Gotham and Blackgate. Black Mask has gathered 8 assassins to Gotham City to destroy Batman. Black Mask is definitely not just the Joker, and he's offering a $50 million bounty. Big changes, not much. The combat's the same, but you can virtually recreate crimes, and this is the first game with a multiplayer mode in which players partake in a gang war between the Joker and Bane.
That's not why I play these games.
Yeah.
Multiplayer is not.
Yeah.
Multiplayer in addition to things is always annoying to me because if you like fucking hamstring it right in, it does. Like, what are you actually? Do you understand what your fan base is? These are all comic nerds, man. They don't want to play multiplayer. Come on.
It's not why we're here.
Yeah.
We're here for the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
We're here for the
I think
Mad
when the
Hatter.
game launched, they all looked at it like, that's cute. They think I have friends. No, I'm just going to stick to the story.
Exactly.
Dude,
yeah.
imagine the Mad Hatter watching Alice in Wonderland
As
for
they
the first
pushed up their
time.
glasses.
Or when he goes to see Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, he's like, fuck this shit, man.
Dude, this is based on me.
He was excited about Johnny Depp casting at first,
Yeah.
and then he was so pissed when he saw it.
I don't wear that much eyeliner.
There's not nearly enough rhyming in this.
He literally is not rhyming right now.
Can't even.
He's looking around the theater trying to get other people upset, and everyone's already walked out.
Loves that sequel, though.
Yeah, so the Black Mask is in this briefly, but most of it is just the Joker pretending to be Black Mask.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one that had the electro gloves in it, right?
Electrocutioner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Batman wears electric gloves too, yes.
Because I remember I didn't beat this one. I fell off of it, but the electric gloves were kind of like a game breaker.
I think a lot of people did. I fell off of it too, and
Yeah.
I've heard that from so many people just because it seems like just a repeat of Arkham City.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, how does he get better equipment before Asylum? And he doesn't use it in Asylum. Like, why would you get rid of your electro gloves? Mm-hmm. Why would you get rid of them? There'd be no point.
They're too powerful.
Well, they're too powerful. I might accidentally
Cause someone a
person
seizure.
into a coma.
He got rid of his electro gloves because he realized at one point he could just put the explosive gel directly on his fists.
Yeah.
Electricity
Genius.
can't make a bat.
Genius.
Alfred, I made him smile.
I made a smiley face, Alfred.
I took a picture.
Bring me some more tea. I don't mind. I don't hate the concept of gathering 8 villains to assassinate him.
That's
I don't
a
know.
cool concept.
It's like
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2. It's like
also
a super
Christmas
team.
game.
Yeah.
We got the 8 assassins. We have Bane, Deadshot, Deathstroke, Copperhead, Firefly, Electrocutioner, Killer Croc, and Shiva. I know most of them.
Shiva doesn't
Shiva's
sound
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never played this game.
And Copperhead, they made into a female character. Firefly, I know from Arkham Knight.
Firefly's cool.
Firefly's
A dude
cool,
who got violently burned and is now obsessed with fire.
Yep.
Simple concept, pretty effective.
And he's got like kind of like a Tony Stark Iron Man suit.
He steals like a jetpack or something, right?
Yeah.
And he just brings a
Essentially,
flamethrower.
Yep.
Yeah. DLC, there were skins packs, challenge packs, and there was a story with Mr. Freeze. Does anyone have anything else they really want to say on Arkham Origins?
No,
not really.
I think it was a really good concept or story for a game that might have been a little wasted.
I think this was filler. This also had one of those things where I knew that they were reusing assets as well.
And I mean, it's the same location from Arkham City, plus they added Blackgate, but I mean, a lot of it's the same. The combat's the same.
The cinematic trailer for it, though, was
pretty dope.
Really awesome, though.
Yeah,
I was very hyped for it after seeing that.
Yeah, I think this was kind of filler because I think Rocksteady had bigger plans for Arkham Knight.
And it just didn't quite achieve it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Arguably. Released the exact same day as Arkham Origins as a companion game for the 3DS and the PS Vita is Arkham Origins Blackgate, created by many members of the same team that left Retro, who created Metroid Prime, interestingly enough. Marty, what's up, dude?
He's loving up on me until he wants to kill me.
This is set 3 months.
I already got my warning.
This is set 3 months after Arkham Asylum, and it involves Amanda Waller and Rick Flag breaking out the criminals from Arkham Asylum because they have information on the recruit for the Suicide Squad, I believe.
Task Force X.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, I know so much about the Suicide Squad now. I like the new James Gunn movie, but...
Oh, the new James Gunn movie is really good.
It's really good.
I liked it a lot.
It's really good, yeah.
But the Suicide Squad is just like, do more with it. Now they got a game coming out. And
I miss Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
I liked Jai Courtney.
R.I.P.
I love that they brought him back to get killed in the first scene, though. That is very cool.
That scene was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really was,
I did not see that coming.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't forget how that song goes about how everyone's dead. That was great.
It's not the All My Friends Are Dead song.
No, it's not Turbo Negro. It's a good song, though. Blackgate, it's odd. I didn't even put down like the gameplay style, but it's like a side-scroller combat thing.
It is a Metroidvania game.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah, it's a side-scrolling kind of Metroidvania style game where you literally are having to revisit certain aspects of the Blackgate prison, and yeah.
I did not know that this game existed until
I got
about a minute and a half ago.
PlayStation Plus, I believe.
Yeah, because I mean, it was one of my favorite. I mean, it was one of my favorite games on the Vita itself.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Oh man,
Me personally.
I wish I sold mine. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have a Vita.
Actually, I just sold because I have two Vitas. I had the big one, the original one, and then the slim one. I ended
The
up
slim
finding.
one's nice, but it doesn't have that OLED.
It's brighter screen though.
It's brighter.
Yeah, it's brighter. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, I actually just sold mine on eBay, the old one.
Damn.
So, yeah,
Those are worth
How much money you get?
170 because I had the box.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
That's actually not bad.
no, I was
I'd
actually
pay that.
surprised.
We have, after
Better
Blackgate,
than Game Boy Micros.
Batman Assault on Arkham. They made a direct-to-video animated film based on
seen
Arkham. You've seen it.
I've seen it. It's okay.
2 years before Arkham Asylum, the Suicide Squad attempt to break into Arkham to recover a thumb drive from the Riddler containing Suicide Squad information. Kevin Conroy does voice Batman in this, so that's cool. Yeah. It's interesting how much
He's
they're
a
doing.
million years old now.
Well, he looks old.
Old dude.
It's interesting, though, how much they're doing a Suicide Squad between games to set up for their next game. I don't know if this was probably not intentional, but they definitely were toying around with the Suicide Squad, and that's the next game they're working on.
Yeah, that one actually looks interesting. I think that opening trailer is pretty interesting. You're gonna have a hard time making me want to not be Captain Boomerang, though.
Yeah, I've already actually amongst my group of friends on the podcast EXP cast, I've already called Boomerang.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like
It did just get delayed not too long ago, though, right?
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
they said Gotham Knights is coming out this year.
Gotham
and-
Knights is coming out this year.
Yeah.
Interesting to note, Gotham Knights, not related to Arkhamverse.
I
Suicide Squad
I want
takes
that game so bad, though.
Suicide
Gotham
Squad takes place in the Arkhamverse. This is a continuation after Arkham Knight, Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
cool.
And that's what Rocksteady's working on.
Knights. Yeah.
Yep. So
I don't want to be Harley Quinn though. Like Harley Quinn is a gymnast who's also a therapist.
luckily,
I
you can
don't
just be
get it.
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Luckily, I can also.
Or you can be the shark.
Yeah.
This dude talks shit to the Flash, and he just throws a boomerang.
Yeah.
Dude.
That is,
But it goes super fast, though.
that is some big dick energy from Captain Boomerang. This dude has no powers other than a boomerang, and he's talking shit to the fastest man in the world. Like, fuck you, dude.
But if you're really good at a boomerang, is that not its own special power?
No.
It's a power, but it's pretty low on the power tier compared to the fastest man
That's
alive.
how the ancient Aboriginals killed kangaroos. They used boomerangs.
Well,
Yeah, but the kangaroos couldn't, like, turn back time.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I'm taking
Have you
dibs
seen
on
kangaroo share?
King Shark.
Clearly, I haven't.
Okay, I'll be boomerang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we can get right into Arkham Knight, released June 23rd, 2015 for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. The Windows version was subject to serious technical and performance issues that rendered it
my God.
unplayable
I
for many
remember
gamers.
this.
Did you play that one?
No, I didn't, but I remember I had a friend of mine that was just livid.
I'd be livid too.
It was all
Livid.
over Reddit for so long.
Yeah, it really was.
That's a real disaster.
I think they literally took it off the store. Like, you couldn't
did.
even buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad, we're not going to sell us for a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it couldn't. It was unplayable in some scenarios for a lot of gamers on the Windows, which is horrible. But also, take that, PC Master Race.
They got to lose sometime, huh?
Yeah. You got to lose some of them.
They lost once.
Yeah.
We got them. Created by Rocksteady, as we mentioned, written by Sefton Hill, Ian Ball, and Martin Lancaster. They told Paul Dini if someone else offers you work, you should take it, which is a really passive aggressive. We don't want you back.
Damn.
That sucks.
Yeah, Paul Dini was great. He did.
I know.
Paul Dini can have an attitude. That's what I've heard.
Okay. Well, maybe he had opinions that we can't make Arkham Knight. It's Jason Todd. Duh. Like, we can't do that.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not going to tell tales out of school here, but it's. I don't know. He seemed a little big for his britches too.
Arkham Knight or Paul Dini?
Dini.
Okay. Okay.
These are all things I've heard. I'm not in the community, but I definitely heard a lot from it.
Arkham Knight took 4 years to make. Setting is Halloween night. Scarecrow has launched an attack on Gotham City. Luckily, this causes a citywide evacuation, so you can run over everything you see.
Perfect.
Yeah, ideal for game design.
Yes, ideal.
Scarecrow is working with the mysterious Arkham Knight, who is definitely not a former Robin.
Definitely not, because he doesn't know all of his moves somehow.
What a stunning opening sequence.
The cop point of view shot, right?
Yeah, when you think you're watching like a pre-rendered cutscene maybe, and then you realize you can look around, little Easter egg setting up what's happening, like a missing person who, later on gets Joker's blood. And great opening. And then when you also see Joker's body get incinerated, and when you play New Game Plus, it's like the Joker starts I think the Joker wakes up and starts laughing in the New Game Plus has a different opening.
Okay.
Oh, I never went back and played New Game Plus.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody did.
I did.
Oh, you did. Good for you.
I did. I played through this game twice. I like this game.
Okay.
Gotham is pretty big. I don't have the footprint thing, but it's giant. This is a very, very big world to explore. It's well designed. I think there's a lot of Easter eggs for people that are big fans of the comics. I don't know every reference in there, but I was looking at a list they just reference a million little villains, and even outside of Batman's territory, just other DC things quite a bit. I know I picked up on Lex Luthor, and they talked about Bloodhaven, which is like, I think Nightwing's territory.
Yeah, Bloodhaven is kind of it's within the Batman universe, and it's kind of like the northern part of the state, so to speak. So
it's like
That's where he
it's
goes,
like
where he's like, I've had enough of you, pseudo dad.
I'm going to Green Bay to fight crime.
Yeah.
I'm going to Green Bay to fight crime.
yeah, screw you, Dad.
We have two villains up there, Cheeseman and
I'll take care of this.
Cheeseman and the Mad Hatter 2.
The Packer Lord.
And I think the mayor is up to no good, so I'll watch out for him.
When is he not?
Leave me alone, Nightwing. I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm watching you.
Nightwing, I'm busy on Return of the King.
It's almost done.
It's been 12 years.
Batman does have Joker's blood, which plays a pretty big part of this. Joker's dead. Can we bring the Joker back in this game? Very much so.
Very much so.
You with not only having the Joker's blood, but Scarecrow injects you with fear toxin, and the Joker just becomes something that is following you forever. Scares you to some extent too, because you're flying around and you like just try and climb up a building, and then the Joker's just in your face out of nowhere. Sometimes.
I did jump the first time it happened to me.
Yeah.
And
Man-Bat. Yeah, Man-Bat was the one too.
Man-Bat's terrifying.
Yeah.
You just go up out of nowhere and it just screams in your face. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. That was literally, I mean, that was my first know about like who that character was. Like, I don't know why for some reason, even though like I watched the Batman animated series a lot when I was a kid, I don't know, for some reason I forgot Man-Bat existed in the universe. And I was like, oh yeah.
I just thought of Danny DeVito with Man Spider, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Man Spider. I'm not Spider-Man.
Mantis Toboggan.
Mantis Toboggan. The Batmobile is the most important change in this game, though. And I think it's where a lot of people have some big issues. I enjoyed controlling it. I enjoyed the combat situations mostly, but it is not a Batman game when you are in the Batmobile.
Yeah. I was not a huge fan of the Batmobile in this. Like
I was upset that the final boss battle was relegated to a Batmobile mission. Like the final battle with Arkham Knight itself, like
just a big tank battle.
Just a big tank battle. Like not what how I expected the game to end.
There's nothing stealthy or detective about you have a tank and you fight 50 tanks in an urban scenario. Luckily, they're all drones.
Oh yeah, perfect. Because like humans can't attack Batman and his Batmobile good enough, so we need drones for that.
Yeah, you can't run over people; they just magically like bounce away.
Yeah,
I love it. Although controlling the Batmobile, I always thought was fun. The issue that I had really was the combat situations. I didn't mind playing them, but it would have made more sense to have crazy semi-orchestrated chase experiences. The Batmobile has great chase scenes in all of the movies, or like getaway scenes where you have to hit certain ramps or things like
the
that.
Arcade game, the Batmobile arcade game.
I don't know.
It's I don't.
It's like
I
Need
don't
for
know what
Speed,
it's called.
basically.
It's basically like the Joker's bringing a nuke to Arkham, and like
that's awesome.
And like Kip and Dom played it.
Yeah,
the first night of MGC. It was fucking wonderful. It's not a good game. You have a machine gun. I'm sorry, that's a machine gun.
It's shooting
rubber bullets.
Rubber pellets, dude. They won't kill nobody.
Yeah, it won't
It'll
kill
just kind of
anyone.
like bruise them a little bit.
Yeah, just bruised.
They're taking a long sleep out.
I just never liked the fact that they, there was like certain parkour elements with the Batmobile. Like you have to disable. Like I remember that particular mission where you got to disable these generators, and you got to hop on these rooftops with the Batmobile just to disable 2 generators. It's like, really?
When I think of Batman, I think of platforming with a Batmobile across rooftops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys,
When we all know canonically you can drive up walls. So
And also,
we've seen it in the movies.
the tanks seem to be poorly designed. There's a long red line for that to tell people where we're shooting. Should we take those out? No.
No.
nope.
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. He won't notice.
The world's greatest detective won't deduce that.
What do these lasers mean, Alfred?
Well, and that's always been
I think it's the Mad Hatter again.
The Batmobile, I would say, has seen the most changed amongst like all the games and all the movies and all the series.
Yeah.
Even like in the more recent movie where it was like more like a kind of like a classic car as opposed to something like a kind of like a all-terrain tank vehicle.
That I think Robert Pattinson said, can you turn it up louder?
Yeah, exactly. Can you give me a big-ass engine in the back there? Bigger, please? Thank you.
I don't care if it does nothing. Make it loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Batmobile.
Oh, that scene was so good.
I mean, did you guys hate the Batmobile stuff?
I never played this game.
You never played Arkham Knight.
No, I never touched it.
I'm surprised.
Arkham City actually turned me off.
Ah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I thought it was too much for too little. I think that it was all flash, no substance, and I just couldn't finish it.
A lot of people can arguably say that City was. I mean, I know we talked about Asylum being the better one, but
I know people love it. Like
you either really love Asylum or you really love City.
Yeah.
There's like 2 camps.
I really love Knight.
Interesting.
I don't know. I liked the open world, and I liked the stuff with the villains. I didn't mind controlling the Batmobile. I will grant that it is a bad Batman.
I know a lot of the Batmobile missions were optional.
I just didn't like how big the Batmobile was for the game. It'd be cool to have it so you can get around in some battles and shit, but I didn't like how they built so much of the game around it and made it necessary.
100%. That was what they were working for. They said what we're building is the Batmobile for this game. That is the big change. And they actually had to scale it back because they said it's becoming too integral and too easy to just only drive the Batmobile. So they had to scale it back and make it better to also fly, like as good to fly around the city and explore. So they did know to bring it back, but some other changes. They brought in dual play where players can switch seamlessly between Batman and an ally in certain sequences. Not many, but if Robin or Nightwing or someone's there.
They got like Catwoman for the Riddler thing, right, in this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to team up to solve puzzles together sometimes. Yeah. Batman. Enemy watchtowers, enemy drones, guard posts, mines in city streets. And the Riddler has built entire racetracks underground because he's smart.
I like that.
And ingenious.
Yeah.
His genius knows no bounds.
New gadgets. We got a voice synthesizer. So Batman can do a Harley Quinn impression. Hey, bats. Hey, bats. You criminals should go around the corner. I did it, Alfred. They fell for it.
Oh, boy.
Idiots. Can you heat up a pizza? I'm coming home.
Not the orders, though.
No.
Only Jack's.
For villains, I put down, we have the classics. We have the Arkham Knight, voiced by Troy Baker.
That man can do everything.
He's everywhere. Firefly. This is the first time I saw Firefly. Man-Bat, which I thought was pretty dang cool.
I like Man-Bat.
Deathstroke was here in a big way. But my personal favorite was Professor Pig.
He's another underutilized villain. He's so freaking crazy.
A Snyder creation. Not Zack Snyder.
I know.
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder, yeah.
Professor Pig and Mr. Frog, pretty funny.
Well, I thought I'd already done almost everything in the game, and I didn't know anything about Professor Pig. All of a sudden, I got this weird message to go to this little area. I think I heard something. And this person is taking, civilians and making them into animatronic doll people. Mm-hmm. And that's scary enough. And then Batman has to fight these very innocent people, which are animatronic doll creations. And Professor Pig is wearing a pig mask and maniacally laughing. To me, I'd never heard of Professor Pig, and this was easily the most interesting.
Even at the time, he was recent.
I was like, this is the most interesting villain in this game to me.
From the early 2010s, I believe, was his first creation.
Arkham Knight was the first time that I had heard of Professor Pig.
Same for me, yeah.
I had read all the Scott Snyder runs, so I had gotten a lot of shit with Professor Pig.
We also had Deacon Blackfire and Hush, references and Easter eggs to Lex Luthor. Man-Bat, if you play on Halloween after you've already locked him up, you will be surprised because you will be climbing up a building and he'll be out and you think he's locked up. He has escaped and you have to go catch him again.
Really?
Yep, it'll be Halloween and for no reason he got out and he'll scare the shit out of you again.
Hey, that's fine.
And Starro is referenced in the Batgirl DLC I put there.
Star of the Suicide Squad.
The very big star.
Yep.
The Riddler has scaled it back. Only 243 challenges this time. Getting lazy, but he did build some racetracks and Batmobile puzzles, so.
Yeah. I remember when...
Yeah.
When the first time I did the race, I had fun doing the races. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
But I was just laughing the entire time. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
It went from challenges and trophies to
you have to justify.
You ever seen NASCAR?
Yeah.
And those are story parts of the game too.
Yeah.
Where you have to deal with them. But there are also those stupid fucking little puzzles. And if you want the good ending to this game, it requires you completing everything. And that includes all of the Riddler challenges. Batman is allegedly dead at the end of this game.
He walks back home and all of a sudden...
And then a rich couple is taking their kid down an alleyway because that's what stupid fucking people do in Gotham City. Mm-hmm. Somehow criminals are there. And they clutch her pearl necklace and they rip it off. Who saw that one coming? And then they see a Batman figure on top of a roof. And they say, "What are you doing? Everyone knows that Batman's dead. Get down from there." And then it grows in a supernatural way, and it like the wings extend like red fire, and it swoops down. So it's something different. I don't think it's just Batman, or it's maybe Batman utilizing fear toxin, or Red Hood using fear toxin dressed as Batman. Something. It's not just a straightforward Batman thing, but you definitely get the vibe. At least Bruce Wayne isn't dead, and something's weird.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's where that series gets left off there. But I don't think any of us probably got the good ending.
No, that's the first time I've ever heard of it.
No.
Yeah.
Nope, I never heard of that.
I did two Riddler challenges.
I heard of it, and
yeah.
I think I watched a YouTube video in prep for this, and I was like, oh, wow. I mean,
I'm going to have to go watch this ending on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or I could just play the game and get all the trophies again.
Yeah, which one would you rather do?
How long is the YouTube video?
5 minutes. And the Riddler challenges, at best, 2.5 hours, probably, if you use a strategy guide and a map.
Yeah.
Some very amazing DLC for Arkham Knight. Mainly the biggest one is the Season of Infamy. After you've stopped everything, it's still late night, early morning. There's still enough time for 4 villains to fuck around, including the best DLC release for the series. They have Wonderland, starring Mad Hatter. He's been stealing people and locking them in trunks. And at some point, you have to go through a storybook, and the pages flip, and you fight bad guys.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually pretty unique.
I'm surprised that it hasn't been the Mad Hatter for every Batman movie so far. But the Joker just keeps...
I am really surprised that they haven't used them at least once.
Yeah?
Sequel to this one, probably. They're using ground
You think?
villains.
Yeah?
They'll maybe make like a... They always up the ante. They always add more villains to each
Well, yeah.
The only way you guarantee a Batman sequel, though, is teasing Joker for the sequel.
Yep.
Did they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Killer Croc makes a return. Mr. Freeze makes a return. The League of Assassins are the other aspects of this DLC. Arkham episodes are very big story-based DLCs. One is Harley Quinn. One is Red Hood. One is Nightwing. One is Catwoman. One is Robin. And one is Batgirl.
Damn, they put out a lot.
There's a lot. The Batgirl one's really good, too. You play as Oracle before she is paralyzed. And it's great. I really enjoyed that.
I never got to that one. The only thing I played was the Mad Hatter one. That was it. I think I just kind of fell out with all the other ones when they came out. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Red Hood one's kind of fun. You get guns and you just shoot people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I love Red Hood and Injustice so much.
Yeah. This game still gets a lot of love, too. Their DLC, they have every Batman skin, every Batmobile, a million challenge like packs. I love the racing. One thing I have gone back and done everything is the racing, because they have unique races based around every Batmobile and every like Batman movie. Right. So they have a Michael Keaton one where you drive his Batmobile, and it's very much based on fighting around his Penguin. There's one that's Adam West, which is all movie sets and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's some really cool challenge maps for the racing. And Stuntman Ignition was an obscure game for the 360 that I really love, because there's like one Dukes of Hazzard like movie you make, and you make a Batman movie, and it's all just stunts based around driving a Batmobile. And I really love it. And you can play something that this and the new Spider-Man game do really well is, if you preferred Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, or if you like Ben Affleck's Batman, or you like this person's Batman, you can play as that Batman's like suit and skin. They even have Adam West. They have everything in there.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate just how much love for Batman is put into this game, even after it's already done.
Like I said, I'm playing City right now. I do want to give Origins another shot, because I didn't give that one a fair shake, even though some people say story-wise that was kind of the better one, because of there was more story focused on the villains in that one as opposed to any of the other ones. So I do want to give that one a fair shot, and I was always kind of toeing the line between if I want to give Knight a shot, and I think it may have convinced me.
I mean, I like Knight a lot. I don't know if it's the most sound Batman game, but it is a fun game, which that's maybe more important to me.
That's why sometimes for me, like the extended universes of Batman, like all the supporting characters are always more interesting to me. Were always more interesting to me than just Batman itself. Like the dynamics between all the Robins, you got Tim Drake, you got Damian Wayne, Jason Todd,
almost Marlon Wayans.
Almost Marlon Wayans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But have you seen Titans, the series on HBO Max?
That show sucks.
Oh, really? I'm literally the only one that likes it.
That show bored the crap out of me.
The third season is arguably the best out of all of them.
Man.
The first two were kind of drags. I'll give you that one, but the third season was really good because then they finally kind of figured out what they're doing with it. But there was I just thought like in the one of the scenes in the beginning of the Batman movie.
Yeah.
There was a character from Titans that really confused me.
Okay.
So, I mean, I suppose I could talk to you maybe later, but yeah.
Yeah. Batman has always kind of been the least interesting part of Batman. The villains shine. Everything else around Batman shines. Robert Pattinson, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter who's inside that suit. As long as the action scenes are directed well, I don't care. Yep.
Fair enough.
It could have been Dylan in there, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, a nice portly Batman just kind of pretending to do flips.
It would have been angles and a lot of dark lighting.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly
You do
what
anything with
works for me.
CGI nowadays.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then also Arkham VR comes out October 11th, 2016 for the PlayStation VR. It takes place between Arkham City and Night. Investigate the disappearance of Nightwing and Robin. Mostly a bad VR experience. At one point, though, I was looking in a mirror and I could do a dance as Batman, and I could see
that
myself.
part was interesting. I did it too.
Yeah.
And I was able to move my arms like this and stuff. And they did one really cool thing where every time I turned around, there'd be like another Joker, and you turn around another way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool in a VR space. Mostly that game wasn't that good. And
if you call it a game.
it's a very generous way to say game. Mostly an experience, but the sequel to all of this comes out next year with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, part of the Arkhamverse. Rocksteady's first game since Arkham Knight, or VR, if you count that as a game.
They've spent 7 years on it then.
Well, there was a rumor that they were working on the Superman game for a long time.
I'd heard that too.
Yeah.
I think this might have been what they were.
Also,
actually-
who's making that Hogwarts or the Harry Potter game?
I think that's...
Wasn't that Rocksteady? Or I thought
No, I thought it was supposed to be Montreal, but Montreal's making Gotham Knights, right? WB
Yeah,
Montreal? Yeah,
I believe.
that's it, yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was Rocksteady.
Dude, that would be like an edgy game. Yeah.
I was under the impression, so I was really psyched for it. And from what I've seen from that game, it doesn't appear to be as edgy.
I'm going to close my picture of Penguin here so I can look this up for you. He's writing
So
an
you can stop being so distracted.
Who is making Harry Potter game?
I'm actually pretty stoked about Gotham
Avalanche
Knights.
Software.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
way off.
Avalanche. Okay, yeah. They made Just Cause and stuff. And
You're excited for Gotham Knights?
yes. Well, like I said, the extended universe of Batman always intrigued me. So, like, all the supporting characters always intrigued me more than Batman itself.
Yeah.
There's always so many different versions of Batman and, his different motivations. But just, having to play as, like, Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin just... And, obviously in the Gotham Knights universe, Batman's dead. So that's where I thought at first Gotham Knights was actually extended from the Arkham Knight universe because, at the end of Arkham Knight, like...
It looks like Batman's dead.
His mansion blows up. So, like, that's what...
It visually looks more like it would be, and it logically would make more sense to be. But no, instead, the Suicide Squad's Harley Quinn is the same one from the Arkhamverse, which I think is weirder to me.
Yeah.
It's a stranger thought. Yeah.
It really is, yeah.
But yes, from the Discord, Phil E says, I played through all the main Arkham games. Arkham Knight was actually what got me to buy a PlayStation 4. That said, Arkham Asylum is still my favorite, and I think they've all gotten worse since. Arkham Asylum was a great action game right off the bat.
Haha.
And got even better as you upgraded your abilities and started learning its secrets. I remember traveling back to an earlier location of the game and it dawning on me that I was playing a 3D Metroidvania. Penguin's design in Arkham City has stuck with me. The glass bottle in place of his monocle was a cool choice. It's been long enough that I will likely check out the new Suicide Squad game when it comes out.
It does look so good.
And one other thing I want to mention, the series overstayed its welcome with Arkham Knight, and those Batmobile tank battles were terrible. I did enjoy the Arkham VR game for what it was and hoped they'd do something more with it. I agree with those sentiments, Phil.
Arkham Knight is kind of universally panned. Like I said, we were talking before how I just
Once you
didn't
lose
like the
that-
reveal of who the Arkham Knight was.
Yeah.
And I was talking to another friend of mine, and he's like, "So you didn't know he was Jason Todd?" I'm like, "No, I knew he was Jason Todd, but I was hoping he wouldn't be Jason
You were
Todd."
hoping they would pull like a second layer out of that.
Yeah, I was really hoping they would, even though it's like
Meanwhile, for me, I'm like, wait, there was 3 Robins?
there was 4. I mean, there's technically 4.
You didn't know Jason Todd? Okay, that's
No, I was
interesting.
like, Batman got 3 dudes to dress up like that?
No, Batman had a girl, a Robin, in certain in
Cassandra Cain?
Yeah,
Talk like a boy.
she was. I forget what she was.
Spoiler?
Yeah, it was spoiler. Yeah,
That's Cassandra Brown.
it was. Well, she was spoiler though, but she used to be a Robin, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think she started out as Robin, then became spoiler.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Spoiler was her name?
Yeah.
I thought you were. I wasn't sure if you were not saying something.
No. That was her actual name.
Okay. Rai JK says, I really loved Arkham Asylum. That's everyone just wants to talk about that. As a longtime comic reader, it was refreshing to have a genuinely good Batman game where you felt like the Dark Knight and the world's greatest detective. Being able to strike silently from above and then just beat the ever-loving crap out of groups of inmates was exhilarating. Villains were beautiful and horrifying. While many will talk about the Scarecrow fight, my favorite was the Croc fight under Arkham. The fear factor of walking around a sewer waiting for him to surprise and charge at you still gives me goosebumps. Sadly, my time with the Arkham series ended early with City. City had the makings of an amazing game, but I never really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there we go. I'm right with Ryan.
Sucks.
When the introduction ends, you get access to the city. I experienced my very first episode of what I call sandbox fatigue.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a very real thing. There were so many
Unless
it's Elden Ring, which I have.
I haven't gone.
See, why is Elden Ring so different? Because I'm experiencing sandbox fatigue too.
In Elden Ring?
No.
You're
Elden
not.
Ring is the exception.
Yeah.
I don't understand because every other
something
game
actually new around every corner.
Because you're not just finding another treasure chest or a floating piece of music.
Yeah, you're not repeating your discoveries. You're finding actually something that actually changes the game.
You accidentally discover a sewer that takes you down to fight 30 guys, and you get lost. And it's not just
because you really don't make any progression in the game. You just you find some new thing. It's like, am I making progression? I don't know, but I'm still having fun doing it.
That next thing that you find could be that thing to completely change the game.
Just chasing that dragon every
Like
time.
finding that huge ass greatsword.
It's honestly gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never ended up playing the other games. I hear how the series started having diminishing returns, and I'm actually happy that I just have my time with Arkham Asylum to enjoy. What a great game.
Yeah.
Raw Dogs exist because of people like you. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, thoughts about this episode, or want to tell any of us that we don't know what Batman's really about, we do want to hear.
Grundy was actually an original Green Lantern villain.
Please reach out to us on Instagram at Hair the Dogcast or on Twitter at Hot Dogcast.
Don't come at me.
I didn't know that, actually.
You can also email us at hairthedogcast@gmail.com. Do you want access to a bunch of bonus episodes, our after show, and even an exclusive podcast where we discuss movies and TV? Of course you do. Join us on Patreon at patreon.com/hairthedogcast. Thanks to executive producers Ryan Krisinik, Tyler Keller, Kip the Killmeister, Kip the Mad Hatter, Brian Ward, and Katie Bone. We're part of the HyperX Podcast Network. For more information, check out podcast.hyperx.com. Anyone else want to say anything about Batman before we end this puppy?
Has anyone ever joined your Patreon page live on air?
No.
Okay.
He's doing it.
I'm doing it now.
Whoa.
Yay. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's ever done it, but yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
No problem.
Yes, thank
No
you.
problem.
And there will be an announcement.
Thank you so much for having... I love you
This was
guys.
fun.
I love
This
you
is
guys.
great.
Yeah.
You're welcome here anytime, by the way.
Do appreciate it.
Can you plug your shit?
Yeah. I am also local too with Milwaukee. I don't know how we found each other. Really?
Ran into you at MGC.
Yeah, I think so, because I think you guys had a big booth, and I was like, "Wait, we're from Milwaukee, and we run a podcast too." So we've been around for about as long as you guys, 4 or 5 years about now. So we just talk about video games. We release episodes Mondays and Thursdays every week because we talk way too long. Yeah. And it's like, okay, let's just cut these episodes in half. So
It's fine.
yeah.
It's not a bad model. I like that.
No.
Yeah, because we'll have the one episode where it's news and then the games we've been playing, and then we'll have a second episode of just this is kind of a cool topic we want to talk about. So
I dig that.
yeah.
And it's the XP cast?
EXP cast. So super we actually just jumped over to we used to host on Libsyn, but now we jumped over to Anchor. I don't know what you guys host on, but that was fun transferring everything over and making sure we don't lose any content.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been deathly afraid of doing that for years.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, and everyone definitely check out EXPcast. Tyler, do you have anything else you'd want to say about Batman before we leave?
No, I think we covered it. I might go see the new Batman movie directly after this.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's either that or Jackass 4. I'm not the only
Jackass forever. Yeah.
I do want to see Jackass.
So I got a tough decision to make.
If you're going to see Batman, find a comfortable theater. It's a long one.
3 hours.
Close. A little under.
But with trailers, it will be longer than 3 hours you're sitting in that chair.
I can't do it.
And I'm going to tell you, don't bother waiting for the end credits scene.
No, don't.
Don't. Just
It's
really
done
don't.
when it's done.
Yeah.
It's more of like a teaser for going to a website, is my understanding. Like,
Yeah, from what I understand, yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
I never stick around for him anyway, just because like ain't nobody got time for that.
nobody.
Well, you don't have time for this.
No,
Every Marvel fan does.
Every Mario.
I will wait for a Marvel one though, because it actually is something that is important.
Yes.
I also
DC is Amanda Waller talking to Batman, handing folders, and like, are you doing anything with this?
yeah.
Well,
And I hate that Marvel started doing so many end credit scenes because now it's like
There's three.
Now it's like 3 of them.
yeah, and people will like go see a indie film or something that's never going to have a after credit scene. They still stick around like you never know.
You want to know a fun fact? The scariest end credit scene that I ever seen was in one of the Twilight movies. So I was working at a movie theater, and I had to go in after the movie was done, and, you know, sweep up whatever, so you could throw the garbage away. And it's not even an end credit sequence, but at the very end of the Twilight, I don't know which one of the credits, it's the sound of a large wolf jumping from the back of the theater to the front. And I didn't know that I was expecting a giant sound, so I thought something was jumping at me from the back.
I would have loved to have been sitting in the theater to watch that.
Twilight fucking.
cried and dropped your broom.
Dylan, why do you love Arkham Knight?
Why do I love Arkham Knight?
Yeah, you said it's your favorite one.
Why do I?
He loved it so much he
touched
never
it?
even touched it.
And I never will. And Martin, you must go.
And so must we. Our next
I
topic.
do.
Our next topic will be God of War.
Oh, this will be. I have to actually play it now.
No, you don't.
I should probably play it.
Watch a YouTube video. Pretend you played it.
I'll probably play it.
All
Do
all
you
of
have
them,
a
or
physical?
just the more recent one?
We're going to do an episode about the series in general, and then one episode going into God of War 2018 in earnest.
Okay. Well,
If
I'll
you-
play 2018. It's not like I've been avoiding it on purpose.
2018 is a really good game.
It's one of my favorites of all time, I would dare say.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I love it.
Honestly, it's really good.
I'll play it.
This has been Raw Dogs, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to go read Lord of the Rings Part 2, Alfred. It's called The Hobbit.
I hear there are giant stone things in this one.
Alfred, there's 12 dwarves in this.
Killy, Philly.
love
what? How do I keep them straight?
I bet their name's rhyme.
Coming soon to HyperX.com, HP.com, and more fine retailers. The HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless. The Cloud Alpha Wireless gets up to 300 hours of battery life, so you'll spend less time charging your headset and more time charging into Penguin's hideout. The dual chamber drivers enhanced by premium DTS Headphone X spatial audio provide reduced distortion, allowing you to hear audio cues with pinpoint precision. Up to 300 hours of battery, 2 chambers, 0 wires, the new HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless.